know more about surgery.
We're live. All right, I got our 107 on the 28th of October. This is a budget hearing. I have a quorum present. I call this meeting of the Upson County Board of Commissioners to order. All right.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What I wanted to just very, very quickly present to you is the separate little outside of your binder. Looks like this. What I prepared for you all is this is just a forecast of where forecasting where we should line up at the end of 2025. So understand these numbers are estimates. What we forecast could differ greatly from the actual results. I wouldn't say greatly, but I mean it's not gonna be to the penny for sure. So if you look at it, the general fund is right on the first page. I am forecasting that we'll have a slight increase in the general fund. And a couple of things I do want to point out to you. The other financing sources and other financing uses. The sources, basically on the uses, typically the only thing we have coming out of the general fund, the 216,834, as you see in amended budget, is for Spur Bluff. However, this year, as you'll see on a separate page, unfortunately, I missed it a little bit on our millage rate on joint projects. So I had to help out the joint projects fund by sending some money over to joint projects. So that's why we are in excess of, we've actually transferred $966,000 out of the joint projects fund to the joint, not to the joint projects fund. We transferred $500,000 out of the joint projects fund, excuse me, general fund and joint projects fund. That money under other financing sources, I'm showing coming back in. So as soon as our taxes are in for 2025, we'll transfer that money from the joint projects fund back into the general fund. Yeah. So, and I did misspeak a little bit. It was 2024 where I missed it on the millage rate. The 2025, the millage rates that we set this year, I adjusted those to ensure that we brought back enough funding for the joint projects fund. If you flip to the next page.
Okay, Alan, so the number I'm seeing on the right-hand corner, that's a positive number. That's the end of your
Yes, sir.
balance. Okay.
So you got revenues, other financing sources, expenditures, and then a 77,000. That's a forecast. Okay. All right.
At least it's not negative.
It's not negative. That's what I'm,
Joint projects fund, what I'm forecasting right now. You'll see once our tax revenues are in, we should have, and we transfer those monies back to the general fund, we should have a nice $93,000 or forecasting $93,000 surplus. That's pretty small. We have not historically built up a large surplus in the joint projects fund. I will tell you that every year I have to go through and look at the actuals versus budget with respect to the city's contributions on all of our joint projects and reimburse to them any excess funds back. So typically what happens every year is we do a budget and the city will fund these joint projects, and it's a check down the hallway based on budget. When we come in under budget, which we typically do on the joint projects, I reimburse them with a check. So that's the joint projects fund. You flip over to 911. 911 looks good, and no issues there. And I see I've got a, no, we're good. We're good, I'm sorry. But I don't try to maintain any fund balance in these funds. That's not typically the goal. So I usually match, like if you'll see other financing sources there, that's coming from us. We budgeted $353,000 to come from the county, but based on the forecast, we'll need $243,000 from the county. And when I say county, that's transferred from the joint project fund. So Recreation fund, same thing. See, I budgeted just a little over $1 million to come from the county. You look up above under intergovernmental, we budgeted $488,400. That comes to us from the city. We will only need $948,000 from us and $446,000 from the city. And so we're good there. Squirrel Bluff. Now, Squirrel Bluff's not a joint project, so I'm forecasting that, and I apologize. I am forecasting that we budget this fund, zero this fund, or balance it for the current year. And so I'm showing, instead of a $217,000 transfer from the general fund, we'll need $284,534 to balance the 2025 results, if forecasts hold true.
And isn't there a due to back to the general fund, Alan, on the Pro Bluff back to the general fund already?
There is a due to on the balance sheet, and yeah, there is.
From the prior, right? So that's still.
Correct.
No, that's going back to your report.
Don't have, no, you're confused, you're just confused. So don't worry about that right now. That is just my calculation of what's gonna need to balance that fund.
Okay.
And that is reflected, if you flip back to the very first page, that's in that number, 1,306,59 at the very bottom, other financing uses.
Okay.
The reason I include these funds, and you'll get sick of me saying this, is these are our main governmental operating funds, and I say main because it has the people in it. All the rest of our funds that we have are other special revenue funds, capital projects funds, debt service funds. So they don't have people in them. So I just wanted to go over that quickly. Now, proposed budget.
So, Spruce Bluff's way down on income.
It is off on income, it sure is. And it's
It's
been
all over $100,000.
tailing off the last couple of years. Their best years were COVID, and like 21, 22, I think were good years, but it
Well,
does.
how long is that actual through? 9 months or 8 months?
Right now, what you're looking at is through 9 months, but then I projected or forecasted
Yeah.
on the 12
So if you're
months.
looking at columns 1 and 2, Paul, it is 100,000, but that's only 9 months of actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be a little
But
better than that, but
still it's gonna be
yeah,
50,000
off, right?
Yeah. And
All right.
I don't foresee, this time of the year that it's gonna make that kind of money, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Simple one, the SPOS, the capital budgets, we didn't have a lot of requests this year. Everybody right now, and I know the water department did ask for a new, I did not put that on here.
Which department?
Water department.
Okay.
They're needing a new F-250, but they're not like desperate for it. The sheriff, he's requesting the 6, and I, not knowing what the current year prices were that we could get, I used $50,000, $350, and then it's on the closer end of $15,000 per vehicle to outfit them with radios and everything and stickers. So $390,000 would be our request. Now he's already on the hunt, so he gets his own quotes and everything. So he will be coming back to you for those vehicle requests. Now he's on the hunt for a Ford Explorer to replace one that was totaled. And I couldn't remember the amount, but he said he had a check for $21,000 that would help offset that cost. The monies will come from different funds, but the $21,000 will go back into our general fund.
And he said the one that he wanted is at the Ford company, and it's 46,000, so the 21,000 would cover them.
So he's still holding any cars that needed to be auctioned off.
Did y'all talk about it?
We did done.
He claimed he gave me everything he had this year. You know, we auctioned off, I think in total, his, maybe plus one or two, we got about 28,000 out of them.
He made me think this morning, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, that he still had a couple out of his 6 for this year that he hadn't gotten his hands on.
That may be the case.
What were you talking about?
Yeah, delivery.
Yeah, he was still waiting on delivery on some of the 6 from his 2024.
Right.
We had a lot of it.
I mean, technically, he's supposed to give us 6 if he wants, but, you know, it doesn't always work that way.
Well, it needs to be.
No, I'm saying it's part of the 6 if he would have budgeted. I don't think these were extra.
No, these are extra. See, he's already ordered 25. So this would be for 2026, 6 more.
Oh, he acted like still for 2025, he still had 2 he had
Right.
not bought. These would be 6 more on top of that. Yeah, I get that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to, our policies say, you turn in, we didn't want to add anything to the fleet. So if you give us 6, we'll let you
I
order
got you.
6. But
Is he doing it by mileage, or he doing it by age, or he doing it by what?
I would say mileage, he does put
In
an
deer.
extraordinary amount of.
Yeah, into hitting deer, I think.
Deer.
Oh, I didn't want to, but,
Deer
so, yeah.
I was just wondering, I mean, I was buying one the other day, and it was a 2018 model. And I thought we'd have got rid of 2018.
No, he hangs on to them.
Yeah, he works with, I think.
Well, he will recycle them, and what he'll, like, some of his current patrol gets the newer vehicles for his patrol, but then his investigators will get the older ones. So until they just absolutely don't move, and then he will hand them
So
in.
his-
I say not all of them, but most of them are.
So his fleet's growing.
Well, it shouldn't be if he turns in 6 more vehicles,
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that.
He'll be here in an hour. We'll ask him.
Yeah, ask him.
We'll ask him his capital.
Got
Because
6, give me 6, you know. So.
Let Alan off the hook here. He's kidding.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I go through a gentle begging process with him. He did give up more than 6 last year.
Didn't get a lot.
James said he won't be here.
Okay.
All right. So, so the main
It's on YouTube.
The main is in your nice binder that was prepared for you by Lacey and her crew. And what we'll do, the way it's laid out, and I'll go through the first few pages with you very quickly. This is the summary, correct? So what's up front? What I've put in these summaries are what you have on the first page. These are all of our governmental funds. This will be, is it in their order? No, sir, it's in your binder. Yes, sir. Is this?
It's in all of the same order.
Okay. So what you have on the very first page, that's all of our governmental funds that were required by law to budget annually. I don't include capital projects funds because we're not required to submit or have budgets prepared and approved by the board for those. Does not include the water or waste services. So these are all of your governmental funds. Now, what's excluded in these, and the reason it is, as you see in the big box, I don't include the transfers to other funds. So what you have are budgets presented net of transfers, so that it gives you a total, when we're talking about countywide budget that you'd be approving, hopefully in December, would be 33.1 million, give or take, as adjustments that may be made. Flipping over to the next page, or the back, what I have presented is the general fund. And it is not by account number, but it is presented based on major categories of expenditures and major sources of revenue. It's slightly out of balance at the moment, that's fine. as I'm sure we're gonna make a few edits along the way. Right now, we're out of balance to the good, meaning we have a little bit more revenue than we need. But we can account for that. And I will tell you, because we're not going over the county commission's budget, but built into this budget, we do have approximately $150,000. It's under other costs of contingency built in this budget. Okay. Contingency is helpful to have because we have things that happen that are unforeseen that takes place. And it also helps us a little bit too with trying to manage our, our budgets and as far as our actual expenditures. On the next page, you got the recreation fund, same presentation. You see the overall increase in the fund. I present the 2024 just for reference to kind of see where we were on actual, what we budgeted for 25, where we are. That's not a projection. It's where we are as of September 30, and then what we're proposing. Flipping over, or the next page, we have the Joint Projects Fund. The Joint Project Fund consists of the archives, Senior Center, EMA, and for us only, the Pine Mountain Regional Library System and the landfill, post-closing landfill costs that the city calculates how much we owe them, and we cut them a check. And I have about $25,000 budgeted for that. You can't see that in here, but that's what's all in this mix. There is an additional, we did add an additional department to the Joint Projects Fund. I just happened to think about that. We added a facilities or building department to put costs that we incur related to this main facility and some of the other facilities so that we can get sharing or participation from the city. And we budgeted, I think, $50,000 to $55,000 for 2026.
50,000.
Yeah, because we do maintenance work. We have people that come and check fire extinguishers and various things. They do that for the whole building. Paul and those guys will do certain levels of maintenance on both ends of the hall. And where we're sitting now, the bathrooms and all is considered the common area, which is shared at 50-50 between city and county. So we wanted to do a better job at trying to catch, because what has happened for every year in the past is we've eaten a lot of that cost because we would just pay for it out of our general funds and our facilities budget. And so we got smarter, started thinking about this a little harder. Particularly we spent, in 2024, we did spend a lot of, I say a lot, we spent more money than typical on building maintenance. We repainted a lot of things, and lamp posts and railings. We put nice picnic tables on both ends, and that's when it's like, whoa. But we didn't involve the city on that on the front end. We repainted the crosswalk there, or the covered sidewalk for the building. So we want to make sure we include those costs when we budget every year so that the city can share with us. 911, same thing. And I think we're going to see on 911, it's mainly in personnel, and that's because of the addition. Last year we had it budgeted, I believe, at 50%, but now we have Lieutenant Neil Sanders in the department.
They also had another position on leave, so now with the 13 and with Neil, all positions are filled.
Another position that was vacant?
I think.
Yeah, I don't think we added it.
No, we didn't add it, it was just already about
Okay,
filled.
so Squirrel Bluff, last. That's where we are right now on our actual, what our proposal is. This is a little out of balance too. And we'll have that cleaned up. But we actually have more revenue than we really need to cover the expenses. Our total expenditures is 540, 580. So we need about 29,000 less from the general fund to balance this fund out.
So do we think we're going to get the charges for services at that rate? I mean, if we're, so we're 100,000 underneath for today. We got 2 months left to go.
We ain't gonna make that.
How many people have to visit Spruce Bluff to make $100,000?
Let's see. What is it, $5 a day? Yeah.
Well, you have cabin rentals, your primitive campsite rentals, your RV hookups, your little bit of money we earn or make on the Spooky Trail, the bass tournaments, the 5K whiskey runs and so forth. We'll go back and look at that. We'll talk to her again.
The 184, if it's only 9 months, projected out 3 more months, so it comes in at about 245. So it's probably not off as much as
Yeah.
it initially looked. I mean, you know what I mean? It may be 10 grand high or something like that, but maybe the Spooky Trail makes up for it or something like that. We'll have to look and
Yeah,
see.
we'll go back and, if we have, we'll come down on that, which means we'll have to come up on, the other finance and sources line is what's coming from general fund. And actually, that's 28,500, too high right now, but if we go down on the other, one's gotta come up.
So coming out of general fund is other financing sources?
That's right.
Yes.
And so we're projecting,
So it'd be 307 minus the 28.5. So 279.
so 90,000 more this year than we did last year.
In 2024.
You
Or
said
what's your
2025 budget was 216,
Right.
and for 2026 budget, we're putting 307 against Spruce Bluff.
Correct, and this, right now, it's a little high, because we're out of balance. I've got too big of a figure. It would be 307,580 minus 28,500, which is what, 280 something,
Mine was
284.
It is $62,000 higher than we budgeted last year.
Okay, and that's because we're coming up $51,000 short this year?
Well, it looks like
Well-
your expenditures are also growing some.
Yeah, but your expenditures are going up, so, yeah, revenues are coming down.
Looks like 30,000 from expenditures going up.
And when we talked to her, she said that she anticipated more revenue because they kind of got spoiled when COVID, that was like their best year, and then the year following that was good. So she used that as a trend, and it unfortunately was not the way it was going.
And I asked her.
No, you're good.
All right. Yeah, I just think we gotta take a hard look at Spruce Bluff, because we can't have the taxpayers paying extra 100 grand a year
That's right.
to keep it open.
So if you
It
look
has
at
to
it-
be self-sustaining.
Well, it never was the thing, well, we can certainly get it there, just knowing a little bit of history, it never was set up with the intention of being fully self-sustaining. So none of our parks are self-sustaining. I mean, even the recreation department, none of our county parks.
Yeah, but this one here's eating
Is what,
it. It's eating it.
right, so, but what I'm saying is that, well, if we can get it to the point where it generates enough revenue to pay it for itself, then that would be great. But none of our other, we have nothing else that does that,
Right.
so.
I just think the amount here,
Yeah, I think my goal is to look at it. I'm gonna go work with Sarah, just on her operations, and I don't anticipate really finding anything, but I'm gonna go down and spend some time with her. I will say I was very surprised that she sent me some numbers, and we've got close to 30,000 people that use the park that come in and out. That's the day passes and the other, which is way more than I thought we would in a year, honestly. I don't know what I thought, but I just didn't think it would be 30,000 people. So I do think it gets quite a bit of use. We just got to figure out, you know, what avenue and how we want to do it, kind of get a plan going forward. So I think there could be some things I think we've wanted to do in the past that the state's kind of stopped us on some of that. So I'm going to review the leases with the state and try to determine, you know, what we can do, what we can't do. Maybe even contact the state. I've got some connections with DNR that we might could kind of facilitate some meetings there and go, hey guys, y'all handed us this. We want to keep it. We want to do it, but this is kind of where we are. So.
Well, you know, there's a heck of an increase in personnel service and employee benefits. All that ain't insurance. They're planning on hiring people?
So, I mean,
Can I
yeah.
interrupt for just a second? So we had, I know y'all are kind of focused on Spur Bluff right now. We have them to come up in a minute, but
Okay.
we have a 120 that's here. So if we want to kind of.
This was supposed to be like an overview on Spur
Yeah.
Bluff, and then she comes up, and then we'll talk
Okay.
to Sarah. So let's just,
Well, I have a question.
let Alan go ahead.
So the sheriff's not coming?
Yes, at 2:20, right?
Oh, okay.
That was the
That
time
was
that I
a
was
little-
told.
Yeah, we
It's
told
a
you
little out of
2:20.
order because people changed it.
They can flip the page.
Yeah, we can figure the order out. It's no problem. Ren, shit's first. So that's a few pages down, right?
Yeah.
What we're looking for?
Brianna,
Juvenile court.
Okay,
Look for juvenile court.
got it.
just addition to
Oh, there's some tabs on here.
Keep flipping 4 or 5 pages
It's okay.
down.
Just follow along.
Okay.
Things get really bad.
So I have met with, Alan and I, Lacey pretty much met with almost all the department heads and the folks in the group. You can see her budget's going down, mostly with the decrease in health insurance. I think that's from somebody leaving. I asked Brianna to come today to kind of talk about some things. She has requested a position in her office. Some of the numbers that she provided me, and I think she's got some from prior years as well, but we essentially have as many cases as like a Spalding, as many as Fayette. Pike lets the Superior Court do the juvenile justice, correct me if I'm wrong, but so they don't have as many, but they're running, we got just as many kids in foster care. We got 75, 85 kids in foster. That, is that correct? Your
I
foster?
have updated numbers and
Okay.
amounts for
Yeah, you
everybody.
can hand them, hand them out.
Good, all right.
Yeah, we're at that point.
Okay.
So we're really here just to let her talk a little bit about a position. Now, what she has kind of fallen back to is she typically has a staff person that works with her that's full-time. That person quit you a week or so ago, so you're right by yourself now.
Yes.
But when they're in court, they're completely locked down, like public can't get anything out of the office. So what she's really looking for would be kind of a part-time person that could work a couple of days a week to help when that office needs to be open when they're in court, and just kind of help her with some stuff. So it's not really even a full-time position with benefits, but I wanted her to show you all the numbers. I think she's done this, if y'all were here before, she's done, they requested this last year, and I think even the judge came to speak about it. But I wanted her to come and kind of give you some updated numbers of things, and then we can kind of take a look and see what you think. That make sense?
Kind of, sort of.
So it's really not a budget thing, it's really more of a, it is a budget thing, but it's really more of a position increase. Okay, I'll let you go ahead if you're ready.
I'm ready whenever y'all are. Okay, so, the second page, because the first page is just the cover.
Which one?
It is,
In
Yes,
this presentation, I'm sorry. The second page is just some kind of overview of what the juvenile court, covers, the jurisdiction, abused and neglected children, younger children who have committed a crime, CHINS, which is just children in need of services, and that's a lot. That's a big part of it. And traffic, and this is just to give everybody kind of an insight. So that was it, that's all I had for that one. This third page on the same packet is this printout right here, somewhat simplified. So the bill was designed to help improve the foster care system, welfare of children, and to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Track how long a child has been in foster care. We have to put absolutely every bit of information that we receive on any sort of complaint, all 4 case types, like I showed before, into this program that is submitted to the AOC. And there's a lot of language in it that makes it sound like it's more deprivation than all the case types, but it's for everything. Everybody has to go in there. I didn't really think we should go line by line.
No,
That's why I
no.
gave everybody the printout, but that's all I had for that one. And then the 4th page this is our last year's numbers, and this is just comparing Upson County to Spalding and Fayette. Pike County is not on here because their court is completely separate. They run separately. They only have 2 children in foster care. They have like 30 cases for the entire year. It's really small. They don't have a lot going on.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So we had 360 last year, and then 2 people on staff, which we would still have if
You have a position you're going
we
to
do.
fill?
Yes, I do have a
Okay.
position to fill, yes. And then Spalding was 500, and they had 6 people on staff. Fayette was 608 with 6 people on staff as well. And that's kind of a breakdown of what employees they have. So the next page,
So when you throw these numbers out here, 360 and 500, what does that number mean again?
so this was their case counts for the year. The 360, 500, and 608 was what their case brought in, or their court brought in cases.
So that had to go before a judge?
Yes,
Like a
all of
case, it
these
has to be
cases
heard
go
by a
before.
judge.
Yes. Mhm. And then our 2 judges are the same judges that go there as well, so since they're in our circuit. The next slide is how our numbers compare today, and I apologize, Mr. Lonnie, I had provided you the wrong information
okay.
whenever we spoke before.
Yeah.
So we are at 310 cases for the year.
So far?
So far, yes, and that is just with me. Spalding County's at 195, and Fayette is currently at 390. And that's where we sit as of today. The very last page is just kind of like a county overview to show where we were 5 years ago and versus where we are today. So our docket number in 2020 was 208 cases, that's children. And then the case count for 2020 was actually 277. So that was all of the charges that went before the judges in that year. Now that was COVID year, so kids weren't running around outside. They weren't getting into as much trouble as they do now. I hate to say it like that, but days in court was only 38. The foster care number was 57, and they heard 600 cases for the year. In 2020, we were not required by state law to track individual juvenile information for each case required immediately. It was like an end of year report where we just put it all together and sent it off at the end of the year for everybody to look at that needed to for the state. Today, and this is as of today, we sit at 230 children on my docket and 310 case count. We have been in court so far 57 days. I'm projecting somewhere around 65 if we don't have any emergency hearings. When we are in court, there's nobody in our office. When I'm at conference, there's nobody in our office. Meetings, currently as we sit, the office is closed to the public. The community cannot come in and do anything, get any packets. That's what we do. We have 73 roughly. We sent a couple home, got a couple more. So cases heard thus far is 568. After November, we will already have surpassed 600 and be around 610 with what I'm looking at. And that's if we don't have any emergency hearings. So now, since we have JCAPS, which is what the Senate Bill 401 covers, we have to upload the information into the program as soon as we receive the complaints for the state to look at. Every bit of information, every official that's on there, contacts, and if you have like a sibling group that comes in, it doesn't matter. It's all individual stuff. I can't just link it to the same parents. You know, if they have 5 or 6 kids, every child has to be entered individually, every parent for every case separately. There's not a way that I can just link them before and the parents link to it. So it is a lot more that they are asking from us for the full year. I do still have an end of year report, which I'll have to send off, so they just kind of added that. So it was like 2020, but we've just added JCAT's program. So we have a lot.
Yeah, a couple questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I look at the case number you're showing here, 310, compared to Spalding and Fayette.
Yes.
Can you give me some, I mean, to me, that's surprising that we're outpacing
Right.
these. So can you give me some idea, like what, is it mostly delinquency? Is it mostly traffic?
It's a lot. It's an equal number. We don't have as many traffic. Delinquency and dependency lead for us. So deprivation and delinquency are our leading numbers. So chins and traffic falls under delinquency. So if I did like a comparison just between dependency and delinquency would have more. Yes.
Okay. All right. And then, as I'm looking at your thing, it says it's Griffin Judicial Circuit. So y'all fall under
Mhm.
the Griffin
We do.
Judicial Circuit. And I believe tonight we have the senior judge from the Griffin Judicial Circuit coming to see us to talk about structure and how we provide funds from the county. So I'm always interested in how we can save money, of
Right.
course.
No,
right?
absolutely.
And so my question would be, why are you a separate entity? Why aren't you under the Superior Court if it's in the Judicial Circuit? Why?
So all the other courts except for Pike County are not under Superior. So Fayette, Spalding, and Upson are independent, and then Pike County's under Superior. And I think that's really because they don't have as many cases. It's not a whole lot of information, you know. There are other juvenile courts in the state that merged with under Superior, and they're now breaking apart because of what the state is asking for. It's a lot. So I don't know that answer.
So the
really.
judges, of course, are under the GJC, but the staff, like the Superior Court, it's all within the county. And some,
Yeah, I mean, just the way my mind thinks is that
Well, it's a good time to talk about it.
is that, you know, having different entities creates different levels of staff, whereas when you consolidate, you can lean on each other. So I'll be we have this senior judge coming tonight. Maybe he can talk about that some as well. It comes down to our property tax dollars. What are we paying for? And you know, this is important, but there's a lot of things that are important, and we have to figure out how we can best do everything that we have to do. And so that would really, before we talk about adding positions, I hate to speak for the whole board, I'm telling you, before we start adding positions, I would want to know what are we doing to try to look at ways we can, you know, do it better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, now's a good time to talk to the
And
judge.
do we have the authority to just do that, though? Doesn't the judges have to sign off on that as well? Do you know, Brandon?
My judges are against it. A couple of the Superior Court judges, to my knowledge, were against it. I think
We
that
just
that
need to
would
talk
be
to Judge
something that
Ballard.
they
See,
would-
I don't know that,
Yeah.
I don't think we can just go up and say, hey, now it's juvenile judge, you know what I mean? Now it's under Superior Court. I think it has to be through.
Yeah,
Which we could potentially get them to do or whatever, but yeah.
I
think
wasn't
that's-
suggesting
Yeah,
to do that. I would never want to do anything, like, you never know what the
Right,
second,
repercussions
third
are.
order effects of a
That's right.
decision are if you haven't done the question, asking the questions, and that's what I really want us to do.
And that, my big thing was just letting her present today to you the numbers that she has, and as we're looking at everything overall, you know, if there's some time there, they are, you know, the person wouldn't need any benefits, so we are saving some money right now currently on health insurance on that side, so she was coming in a little bit under budget, so that's kind of where we were.
Okay.
You got anything else for her?
No, I appreciate it. I understand. I actually sat in here as a constituent last year and
When they did
listened
that.
to the presentation, so I actually paid attention. I'm
Yeah, there you go.
somewhat familiar.
Well, thank you. It was perfect.
Thank
And then I have a meeting with the judge next week, is that correct?
you. Yes, sir, on the 5th.
On the 5th, so I'm meeting one of the juvenile justice judges on the 5th, that week I can ask questions in as well.
That's next
Whatever.
Wednesday.
Yeah, if you're available and you want to do it, that'd be fine. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I will see all of you later.
All right, good.
All right, bye-bye.
Who's next?
Spur Bluff.
Got it right here.
Here we go. Hey,
On
Sarah.
a hot topic.
That's right, right in the hot seat.
So Spur Bluff is on 2 pages.
No, it's not like that now.
And I printed
It's
these
right,
numbers out.
it was the next.
Perfect, yeah, hand them out. We want to see any numbers.
Very next.
Yeah, very next.
Thank you.
No, I mean, is there?
Kind of cards you get?
expense?
It's on
A
there,
super-
on there, yeah.
of course.
There's 3
Of
pages.
course,
Like that for that.
of course.
Here you go.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, more than that.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Her budget's on 2 pages.
Oh, yeah.
The front and back.
So the front page, I
Hold
have,
on a second.
okay.
So what you have on the bluff is that, is 2 pages worth, either front and back. You got revenues on one, you got expenditures on the other. So,
Okay, expenses is 2 pages long.
That's right.
okay. 2
Page it a
pages.
little
So you
bit.
got 3 pages worth.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so on the first page, I provided you guys just kind of our visitors for the years that Lonnie asked me to get together. I mean, we're comparing somewhat to 2019 to 2024, so of course, the COVID pandemic was our best year that we've had, 2020, 2021, of course, because everybody's trying to get outdoors. The second page that I have for you guys is just our list of like projects, ongoing projects we have at the Bluff. That does not include like capital items or anything like that. These are all the things that we have had done probably the past 2 years, some things that still needs to be completed. Just in the past couple months, I can tell you, we placed out all our benches, we've replaced almost all of our picnic tables, we had our flooring redone in the cabin and training post, which really needed to be done because those were all built in 2016, they were looking pretty rough. So our campers and all of our visitors were really happy about that. We did have the bathroom at the Overlook redone because it had black mold in it. That was at the beginning of the year. And then cabin 6, I'm just giving you some explanation as to why billings was so high for this past year. Cabin 6 had some pest problems, and I'm not quite sure how much that cost. That come from Paul, but that's included in our budget. So we're trying to get that all fixed to reopen cabin number 6 because it has been closed this entire year. Let's see. Oh, well, I have the printout that I sent you. Is it the same?
Well, this is separate.
Okay. I don't know what y'all quite want to go over. I am hoping to include our electrical for the bathroom down at the bottom that we're wanting to reopen up. It's a little bit more than what our maintenance can handle. I got a quote for that. It's $22,000 for that to be fixed. That should cut out a couple thousand as far as rentals, so that we won't have to rent porta potties. We still probably have to rent 2 during the summer because we like to have 4 restrooms down there for everybody, just because as many people as we have out there on the weekends, especially for the holidays.
I thought that bathroom down there was toast.
Well, if we can get the solar power working and the solar panel works, the lights, which is not really a necessity because we're open daylight hours, but it also runs like the stir because it's a vault bathroom. We thought it was toast, but after looking pretty good at it, if we get that fixed, we think we can get it up and running because it's been stained, the roof's been repainted. We had our pavilion stained too. That's just some of the other things that we've had done, but we're hoping to get it.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's been flooded how many times?
The bathroom?
Yeah.
None since I've been there. Not up to that. It's been flooded to the pavilions back in 2023, but not, this is like further back in the day use area, so it's not been flooded up that far, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it flooded.
Yeah, 2023 was a bad flood. It flooded up past the pavilions, almost into the back parking lot, but that bathroom is like right there in the, like, back of the back parking lot.
It ain't much.
Yeah. So it almost got there, but it didn't. Yeah.
I mean, that's why we had rental bathrooms, is because it was gonna cost so much to renovate it.
Right.
But y'all are trying to renovate it now?
We're trying.
And we got the money for that?
Well, the bathroom, so the porta potties cost about $7,000 to $8,000 a year. So, I mean, if you consider renovating the bathroom,
But would
She's
you-
asking for that. We don't, it's not even in here, is it? That was just something that she's talking about, she's got the quote if we wanted to look at it.
Well, she's already stained it and everything?
Well, I don't know if they
yeah,
painted
yeah,
it
it's
or whatever.
stained. The roof is painted. This is something we've been wanting to do the past couple of years. But then once they really looked at the electrical, they realized
Yeah,
that.
the electrical's the 22,000 part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which of course I can get more quotes for, but.
Yeah, see, I was thinking we was gonna have to get permits for the septic and all that other
Well,
stuff down there.
This was already there, so we don't have to get any kind of permits for this. If we wanted to put something new down there, of course, we'd have to get permitted for. Yes, there is no electrical, no power down there. This is like a vault composting toilet, so it'll have to be cleaned out regularly. Should I say anything? No. Okay. So that's for buildings. Rental expense, like I said, is porta potties, uniforms. Park office supplies is trash bags. We have roughly 30 trash cans down at the bottom and up at the overlook, including the campground and everything like that. Cleaning agents for 11 of our buildings, mops, tools, general tools, paper, etc. Let's see. I think that's basically. Should I talk about that email that you sent me? About cutting costs? Yes.
What,
About cutting the hours. Did y'all include that?
No.
No. So I know y'all are really wanting to cut expenses. So one thing that I suggested is our part-timers is to, instead of going from 29 hours is November through February when we do slow down, we could cut 4 hours from each part-timer. So we have 7 part-timers. And so that would make them 25 hours. That would save about $8,000. I did also suggest something else drastic. Should I mention that, Lonnie?
Sure.
If we wanted to go even more than that, if we converted the trading post into like an educational nature center, we could cut 2 part-time positions, and I think they get paid $20,000 a year, so that would be $40,000 plus cost of sales. If we wanted to do a couple stickers, maybe some apparel, me and Kim could put that up online and send that to anybody that was wanting to purchase stuff, but we wouldn't have to buy all the stuff that we do for the store when visitors come in.
Well, we did include, Lacey corrected me because I was wrong, but we have incurred a lot of overtime this year thus far. So one of the fixes for that was to cut back on it. So it still shows as an increase, however, because she's requesting $8,000.
Now, they were
Overtime.
salary 2 years ago, but then they went to hourly, so they then can't stay overtime, so.
And what happened with that was, we jumped out early when there was the potential change to the minimum salary level that was coming down from the Department of Labor on salaried individuals, which ultimately, I guess the judge blocked that. I'm thinking the judge out of the state of Texas. This was under the Biden administration. Instead of keeping those persons on salary, they switched them back to hourly.
Right.
Because the minimum on a salaried employee had gone up to 58.8 or 58.6, I believe, for full-time people.
And then we'll be doing our own, we were paying, I guess, through the general contact through Upson County for landscaping for our Highway 36 bridge, because we are required to maintain that, our boat ramp over there.
We are? We
Yes.
always have been?
Mhm.
Where's that at?
But, yeah, we're discontinuing that. That's just something we can keep up
So-
with ourselves.
Well, hang on.
So hold on. So we had spoken to the road department about picking that cost up. And right now, I can't remember what the total cost is, but the road department's gonna bear that as part of their budget for road costs. Alternatively,
Now, that's the boat ramp over there in Meriwether County?
No, it's
No,
still.
No,
considered
it's in
Upson.
Upson, on this side of the river.
36 highway. So I'm like, I didn't understand, maybe because I'm,
Oh,
should understand.
on the bottom.
Why they're
Yeah, yeah,
cutting the
yeah,
boat
yeah.
ramp
I was
on
thinking-
36.
I was thinking the boat ramp up Meriwether. Okay, all right, as long as we're keeping it in the county.
It's ours.
Yeah, so, in my mind, it fit better with road department, even though it's a highway, I understand. James sees it differently, James Melton. But, I just thought that those guys either could cut it, or we would still have Rod Houseman do the work.
Right.
It's not that expensive. We haven't got that number figured out. It's around $1,200 or $1,300 a year is what we're paying to cut that boat ramp, so it's not that high. So, under Mr. Houseman's contract. But they didn't need to carry it in the Squirrel Bluff budget, in my opinion.
Right.
Because even if roads picks up that cost, that's under unincorporated services.
Some other changes we made, I moved, we had our maintenance guys move our user fee sign up to, in front of the trading post, so people know when they come in now that they have to pay instead of just past the overlook deck. Also, the next year, I'm looking into including a boat ramp fee. That's something we've never done before. People are dropping off canoes, kayaks, and then somebody else is taking the vehicle back with them. We've never charged them for that, but I'm thinking that's something we're gonna have to do. I mean, they are technically putting their vehicle in park. It just contradicts our ordinance with the DNR agreement, so.
So what's the agreement? If you drive down there, you don't have to pay?
Like, yeah, if you're driving down there and coming back out, you don't have to pay, but if you're like actually parked, but the ordinance says if you're using our facilities, then, I mean, I guess they are technically using our facilities.
Yeah, I mean.
But we've never
100%.
charged them
I
before.
didn't know you could just drive down there and look around and come back out. So what if they don't come back out?
Well, we just never have charged the boat ramp fees, but we don't have anybody really to monitor. Sometimes we'll go down there and we'll check park passes if we're getting, if we're emptying the honor boxes, but other than that, we don't. I bought us a book that says like your car is gonna be towed. We started doing that, but there's no way that we can ticket them, like, so we just put the stickers on their cars.
No telling what's going down there and you ain't getting paid for it. So y'all are just open gate, nobody's at the ticket booth.
No.
No, they're
People
doing
are-
that, but they're just saying if they go, they don't have anybody going down there checking people at the thing to make sure everybody. But
Now,
yeah, we have somebody at
If
the
one of
ticket.
our staff does happen to go down there in maintenance
Yeah.
or checking the honor boxes or whatever, they do like check the cars that are parked down there. But after 5 o'clock, it's kind of open game whether people are gonna pay or not.
What time you shut the gate?
The gate shuts off at dark, so at sunset, about 8 or 9.
So, a lot of lost revenue. Maybe,
Could be.
could be. You know, they wait until everybody's gone at 5,
They know when we
then they go
leave.
down there and party.
Yep.
Sarah, may I ask a question? At one point, weren't we, having staff stay longer hours, but we
Right.
ended up cutting it because they didn't feel like it was worth the
Right.
revenue that was coming in after that?
Yeah, that was back when Miss Mindy was here. I think that was 2019, right before I came over there, yes.
How much would it cost to put a pay-to-play gate in?
I think that, the quote for back then was, I think it was 30,000.
Be kinda like going to Jekyll
Oh,
Island.
I
or
got you.
something. And then you ain't got a pass, you don't get in unless you pay.
But is somebody there beside the toll booth? No?
Well, there
Sometimes,
is-
but not always.
There is if somebody messes up, but no, it's
Right.
totally computerized.
Okay.
You can buy your pass online and it reads your card tag. You know, you pull up, if you got a pass, it'll let you in.
Right.
Could you change that for the booth altogether, have it going all day long?
And if I'd like to move that up so that we can reduce, well,
So you have cars that come in and go to the overlook.
Yeah.
They don't go past the gate. it should be brought forward. So if you come and use the overlook or whatever, you're paying.
Right.
So we're losing money there too.
So who is that ramp regulated by? Is the state regulated?
Well, I'm not quite sure, that was before my time, but they paid to have it placed there. But for some reason, we've been maintaining it all these years. We just check the trash, make sure it's cleaned up over there and cut the grass, so. Because most people that come to our park, there's a lot of people that are floating the river. So that's Flint River Water Trail, so they're going from the bluff down to there, you know, so that's a big part of the bluff, even though it's downriver.
So if that ramp is state regulated, can we charge? If that is
Well,
used?
she's talking about her ramp at the park, not, don't get that confused with the one we're cutting on 36, right? Which
Right,
one
right.
he was talking about. So if we could charge for the one at our park, we think, right?
Yes, oh, yes.
So be where they're putting in, they're taking out at the other one, we couldn't charge.
They're having
for.
somebody drive them down there just to drop off their boats, and they're driving their vehicle out. So we've always let people just have a free pass then, so, but we're talking about charging them for
Sure.
future.
Yeah, they go past that gate, they gotta pay. But I'll be looking at all that sort of stuff. I'll be working with Sarah on those ideas, and we'll come up with what we think it can change and do.
Does our agreement with DNR?
I'm gonna check that too. Sarah sent me those, and then Jessica sent me what she has, so I gotta go through those. Yeah, to see what they will allow us to do once I'm finished.
Right.
So, is that,
She said, that's it.
so right now, we're looking at, using property tax dollars to the tune of
278.
278,000.278 meals for the bluff. Right, and so, I mean, the bluff is a little bit different than, you know, other parks that are for the community use. You just go to the park, right? This is supposed to be a tourism attraction, right? Where it's supposed to be people are paying to come to the bluff, right? And so I think that's really the rub is, you know, almost a third of a meal of property tax to have the bluff is what I'm seeing. And, you know, I haven't taken a survey. We have had people come in here to speak about property taxes, and the bluff is a point of contention. I'm just being honest. Tax dollars go into fund something that should be more self-sustaining. It's not a public park where we're going to just jump on the swing and play with our kids. So, I mean, I think that's where we're at. We got to figure out how to reduce that line item in the budget and reduce the burden on our property tax for the bluff. Bluff is loved, it's part of the community. We want to have the bluff,
Right.
but we have to weigh who's paying for the bluff, you know,
Right.
and the concept, I believe, should be campers, people going to look at Overlook, you know.
Right.
People going to utilize the bluff should pay to do that, you know.
We have a lot of local visitors, but we do have visitors from, now I believe they're just coming around us to maybe do something else, and we just happen to be a stopover point, which is how we receive some of our campers from Ireland or Malaysia or things like that. But if we wanted to make more money, like Lonnie was saying, we could include more RV sites, but last time we checked, RV sites are, I think they were 20 to 30,000 a site. If they wanted to be paid, a new bathhouse, which would have to be included if we included more RV sites, was at least 200,000. So it's going to cost money, you know. But really, we make a lot of money off of our campsites, particularly the RV sites. They're less to maintain. They don't have problems like the cabins do, so they're easier to clean, you know.
Okay.
So, you know, my question, having been on the job for a few weeks, is just that. So I do have
Ronnie, I'm looking for answers.
I know. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you some, but every time I try to dig up, I get more questions. But I do have a company that is interested in, they contacted the IDA, Slade passed the information to me. I have it in front of me, but I've got to compare it to that lease and figure it out. Just quickly looking at it, you know, they would kind of anticipate taking over the store part and the camping thing. They would relieve us of the $200,000 that we've been putting in the Bluff. So it would almost be, I hate to say a privatizing thing, but they would take that. They are interested in adding some more camping spots. You know, they're going to blow it up, right? They're going to advertise it around Atlanta, and they're going to bring people down here, and it's going to be a money-making thing for them. So it's a 20-year lease. I got to make sure legally we can do it, that with DNR we can do what we want to do. And then I think it is a bigger question of what do we want to do with the Bluff. And, you know, I was surprised that you have 30,000 people using it, going in there, buying passes and things. I think it is getting more use than I think of. I do agree with you that it is 268,000, but I kind of feel like then you're going to have those same people saying, why are we putting $1 million into the rec department to sell here? I don't have children to play rec ball. Why am I paying that? So I think, you know, I think we got to look at all those things. Mm-hmm. And I think you would agree, right? I think we got to look at all services and say, what do we want to be when we grow up type deal. But I think we will have some options with Spruill Bluff. I'm going to work with Sarah on a lot of the stuff that we have and see what they're doing and make sure that I don't have some suggestions that might change things, and some of that may be more revenues and looking at it. But I do think I want to look at several things, bring back to you guys some options, and let's figure out what we can do. What's the best way going forward with it?
Yeah, that's all we ask.
Yeah.
We want to look at everything hard,
Yeah.
right, and do what we can do that's best for the community and best for the taxpayers. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too.
Will you send Sam and Roger?
Good afternoon, Commissioner Watson.
How's it going?
How you feeling, kiddo?
Good, good.
So
Voice is
this
just
little
gone.
handout that's on top of the binder you have,
This was kind of overall projection.
this is just projections for 25. This is just capital request. I need to add a truck on there for water department. I'll recirculate it. That's pretty much it.
It's something about an animal shelter.
Good, how are you?
All right,
He didn't want to sit in the hot seat.
who's next?
James or Pam? Or y'all want to sit right there?
No, you're fine.
Do you have your budget?
Not whatever you got ready for.
Hang on. Lacey had to go to the restroom. She has a copy for you.
Yeah, they can use mine while Lacey.
No.
Where we at?
Flip on a few more pages past Spruill Bluff and you should see I think the next page over is road department.
Road
shop.
department shop.
Should be a nice picture of some sort.
Yeah, that's James up there.
James out there dropping cones off that Lacey put on.
That's when he had a beard and everything.
Is that James? That's you, man.
All right.
Just lift the hair up to the mustache.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Well, she let it, been borrowing her. So, we asked, well, in discussion with Lonnie, their budget, the road department's budget, not 5% or more. The shop's budget was, but given the size of the road department's budget, and, you know, there's been some discussion in the recent work session about staffing. We thought it would be good just to have these guys come in, and James can certainly update you with regard to staffing, or Pam can. But overall, in terms of the roads budget, the total net increase is 4%, 4.1%. And I should note, if you go home, if anybody goes home and studies these in detail, you'll see some of these large variances with respect to insurance. That's just accounting reclassifying things to the appropriate count structure. So you'll see a big decrease in property and casualty, a big increase where we lump general property and auto all together, trying to get things more structured.
And I try to put as much in the notes as possible to make it make sense in those little areas.
Alan, can you help us understand on the salaries? So they already had the positions, right? But with the vacancies that they're trying to fill, and then it went up. So what caused, how does that work in this structure? We're not asking for new positions in their salaries, right?
No.
Yeah.
They were just frozen some of
Oh, they were frozen, so we didn't budget for them last year.
And we're not budgeting.
So it's the
for
same one.
Right.
this year.
Right.
So what happens is that whenever you have vacancies, and they had vacancies at the end of last year, and we budgeted them at 50%. It kind of works as kind of a turnover factor ratio, if you will. And then you come back and we start budgeting September, October, this time of the year. They may have completely filled all of those. Then again, they may have some more. So it will cause the change to look greater than, well, hey, they built in a 2% COLA and a 0.88 because we took half of a step and built that into the budget. That's reflected in everybody's budgets but the sheriff's. So when you look at that, you're like, wow, how come it's increased so much? That can cause that. You'll see departments that you'll see it right at close to 4% or a little less, and there's departments that don't have any turnover. Right now, at the end of this year, in 2025, you had how many vacancies?
We had 7.
You had 7, but you've hired 2 people?
Yeah, in the last month.
Okay.
And then 2 was frozen last year with Jason.
Yeah.
Well, 3,
3.
excuse me.
And we just have not been budgeting those, and they're not reflected.
Are they in the road department or the shop?
The road department, shop's fully staffed. But 2 of them vacancies was budgeted, and then the 2 that we just filled was the 2 that left this year, which they were budgeted. Then the other 3 was frozen.
All right, I want to ask you a question. Nobody ever knows, but why do they leave?
More money? I said this before, we say eliminate the pension plan. So you take a younger person coming in, I stayed there 30 years because of the pension plan.
Mm-hmm.
None of my money's in it.
Right.
All I got is time. You ain't gonna get that nowhere nowadays, but, so you really have no incentive to bring, to get them to stay. You talk to them, you blue in the face, but the younger generation, all they're chasing is the dollar. They're not worried about retirement. But the retirement we did have, in my opinion, was good retirement. And you don't have your own money in it. You only have time.
So most of these people are grass cutters or tractor drivers or what? That you
Most
that
of
you
them are
need?
maintenance workers, which is what we consider a maintenance worker. Then you got equipment operators.
Yeah.
If I got somebody out there that's been there most time 6, 7 years, they're not gonna leave because they're under the old plan. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They in for the long haul. But a lot of them are aging out now. My top operators, they're right behind me, like a year or 2. So
Yeah, but they're not the guys cutting the side of the road, are they?
they're cutting down, but they're an equipment operator too. Got ones into, 2 runs everything out there, great all motor grader.
Yeah.
All that. Ones is mostly dump truck drivers, some of them run great all, a little bit. But they're not, the 2s are the top ones that run it.
The 2s are staying and the 1s ain't.
Well, the ones that staying too is the maintenance workers ain't staying.
Yeah.
I had one left that, he's been he was over one of my mowing crews. I mean, he never would have been nothing else but a maintenance worker because he didn't have a CDL. To go any higher, you gotta get a CDL. And you gotta jump through hoops now to get a CDL. It ain't like it was. And he was over the mowing crew. And he'd been there 7, 8 years. And then I just had one that was a maintenance worker. He was there 2 years. He's trying to get his CDLs. And he was a good operator, but he never could get his CDLs. So he went to work for contract. For like $21 an hour he claims, but. So,
I don't know if there's really an answer for it, so. All right, Alan, I'll let you keep on.
So that's all for roads, unless you have any other questions for me.
So, on the salaries, just so I'm understanding it, so we have budgeted 4 vacancies at half compared to 2 from last year, right? So those additional 2 is what's making up that difference.
this year's budget, there was actually 2 left. We're filling in, but there was 2 funded for this year. And never could fill them.
Right, and that's where
And
the
then the other
fourth.
3 were frozen. Jason wanted to do away with them. We come to agreement to freeze them. Once you do away with them, they go
Mhm.
because you have a budget.
How long have they been frozen?
Last year.
Just the last
when
year.
Jason.
Well, I'm gonna ask this question out loud. What's the pay on it?
For maintenance work,
1583.
that's what it comes to go with.
1583, sorry.
And the only way we got it up to that, we was competing with DOT. Because they jumped theirs up there. Because we was having people leaving, going to the
Right.
for $2 more an hour. Used to be about,
Well, three years ago, he sacrificed one vacancy salary to give them all a $2 raise.
That's correct.
And then the COLAs came in, which helped, 3%. That's what you were able to keep, them going during the pandemic. It stopped the bleed, actually.
Right.
We were bleeding them like crazy. And we started to bounce back, and then we were bleeding again.
Our COLA last year was, in no step, just our
Right.
COLA at 1.75. And you get, depending on your birthday month, you get more of that or less of that. So.
So, I think James asked this during the work session, right? We have positions we can't fill because of salary. We have people who are leaving because of salary. Do we need to just like take those positions we can't fill, take that money and make the salary for those that are here a little bit more, to make it a a job that people can look at and say, hey, this could be a place I can stay and work?
Well, I don't want to speak.
We don't have to decide that today. I'm just saying we need to think.
well, I
you
talked
could
to
do
my
that.
guys about this because, see, they gotta be willing to do it because, like I told them, if we eliminate these positions, there'll be no more. Which we've been doing it for 3 years.
You're doing it now for what
That's
you're
I
getting
told
paid
them.
now. I mean,
But this may be where they may raise salaries because you eliminate positions and taking the salaries that's budgeted this year, like 2 vacancies, and spread it amongst them. But there's no guarantee, but I just want to know their thoughts on it because they're the ones that have to do this, which, like I said, they've been doing it for the last 3 years. Everybody I got out there, except for one, is mowing grass. My 2s are mowing grass for the last 3 years because they've got to have full crew. Got 8 people on the mowing crew. A lead man, 3 north, and a lead man, for each side. Then I got a long reach, 2 people on long reach,
Right.
you know, a flagman and a long reach operator. So all that leaves is my motor grade operator. And then he has to fill in if one of them sides.
Yeah. But then again, on Fridays, you do something different.
Friday, we mow grass 4 days a week, and Fridays, we try to catch some
up.
stuff up, like pipe stop.
Right.
4 days a week, March through September, or?
We start April the 1st mowing, we mow all the way to Thanksgiving. That's 3 cuts. Takes us 2.5 months to get all around here. With 6 tractors, 4 men, 8 men, I mean.
Well, I'd still be interested. I mean, I know Troop County is paying about a mile for a contractor to cut their grass. You know, if we can't hire the people, what does it cost to get the grass cut and use, if they're, you know, operator twos and they should be doing something at a higher level, but they're driving a tractor cutting grass. I think there's a number of things we need to look at here.
To me, it'd be easier to just eliminate one of those specific, eliminate that position, keep one of them open. Like I said, if you got dedicated employees that's been doing this work anyway, get them that increase in salary.
Well, my question is, what are we not getting done because we have operator twos driving tractors, so?
We get it done, we just have
Well,
to
they
on
always-
Fridays.
They always
Get it done.
They
We
always
get
get
it
it
done,
done.
Yeah, but just to keep the employees that you do have.
Yeah.
That's what you got to
How
do.
many vacancies? Still 5? Not counting frozen.
That's
Three
good.
rows.
Forget about the frozen.
So you got 2. Yeah, 3 frozen.
So you're talking,
You want to know a figure? For
what,
the 2?
about 45,000 including benefits?
I just did a rough estimate. It's $15.83 an hour for 2 maintenance workers. That'll be a little over 64,000. And then-
Including benefits?
No.
Are you talking about
Money
if
in the
you
pocket.
want to spread it out?
Right.
Right, for
If you
two,
want to
for
spread
two.
it out,
Yeah.
that's just salary.
Okay.
You lose all the costs for the benefits. So salary is a little over 64, and then you divide it by the group, and it's coming out to a little over $2 an hour,
More, yeah.
pay rate.
So, we can take about 80,000, because you've got to throw in the benefits and redistribute that and pay increase. That's one option. If they need to work overtime, we pay them overtime, right?
We don't work overtime. The only time we work overtime is it's a storm. So we work strictly 8 hours a week, 8 hours a day.
You said if we needed it, like a storm.
A storm, yeah, I have it in my budget, about $8,000 a year.
Okay.
The only time we go out after hours or work late if there's a storm, trees in the road, stuff like that. But other than that, it's strictly 8 hours a day.
None of this like, hey, we just want to get this done today, let's stay 2 hours.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe in working. It'll be there the next day.
The work will always be there. I
Why
agree.
pay more money?
Go home.
Yep. But I tell you.
My wife probably heard that. She's like, look at him talking. But,
I never seen mine.
You're talking about contractors, I'll give you an example. For 2 years, and some of them know it, we contracted out trash. She can tell you the figures, that's just contracting out. Out of 468 miles of road, we only done
We only picked up 145 miles. One pickup per
per
quarter.
quarter.
yeah.
And for 4 quarters, it was,
84,000.
Yeah, I got a totally different idea for pickup. I mean, I think we need to do something. This is a beautiful part of the state, right? But we have some roads. I mean, I drive out Jeff Davis, and there's portions of Jeff Davis you're just like, what are we doing, right? And I would hope that we could, you know, as a community, get some businesses, some farms, some people who would like adopt a county road, right? Adopt a mile or something. You know, I'll get on my little Ranger as long as the sheriff don't pull me over. I'll go pick up the trash. Okay.
Well, that's just an example of a cost, just to pick up litter 4
Yeah.
times is 84,000. So to cut grass on a regular basis, I would think would be higher than these.
It may be, and Troop County's got a bigger budget than
And,
we do.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
they- we
Mark County.
piggybacked off the state's contract.
Mark County hires.
Trash, yeah.
But see, we have dedicated employees in the road department, and the worst thing we can do is lose those employees. We need to keep, we need to pay them.
It's probably closer to 90 grand.
Yeah, so we're not gonna decide anything here
Right,
today,
no, 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 no,
but
no,
we got
just
some
talk.
ideas, and I think we need to come back before we gavel in the budget and have a resolution. Okay? All right. What else we need to talk about on roads?
Shop, that's, I'll let you guys explain, really, it's the compensation, the salary, well, it really wasn't salary, it's the employee's health insurance. We had an election change that had a big impact on the premium. That's really what throws your budget up, over 10%. It's the one, I mean, we've talked about a plan, obviously, we're working on a plan on the healthcare and premiums. In fact, we meet with through this week to get plans started with new hires and the schedule. But that's going to take a minute for that to show up in these budgets. Even the best budgeting people can have kids, have a dependent on or something, and then it's a big difference in the premium.
All right. Anybody got any glaring questions?
No, I think everything else, James runs a tight ship.
Okay.
He does a fine job.
We talked about this, all about two employees. You don't have one, and he's in the shop. So that's supposed to be keep paid for us, salary groups in the shop. I would think.
All right, who's next?
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Then we got the sheriff up next.
Now we know. But she was in there first, but for some reason I thought you was
Okay. Why wasn't it?
I remember him being 220 with the sheriff.
I don't know, why did I think you were first? Because we initially talked about you being first.
He probably told us.
He told me he couldn't wait to get in here and talk about his budget.
I just see it on your page.
All right. Well, I'm not going to talk too much for the sheriff. We asked him to come in. Obviously, all three of his four units or departments under the sheriff's office drives a large chunk of our budget. One portion of it, the 911, is a joint project. The other three, jail, patrol, and school resource officers, are not. On the school resource officers, when you see their budget, don't forget that their compensation and benefits are paid. 75% of that is reimbursed to us from the school system. So-
Yeah, I was seeing on the news not long ago that some of these counties, the school board is paying 100%. So.
Well, they'll just go up on their millage.
Them or us, doesn't matter.
Them or us, we'll go down, they'll go up.
So, where's the school resource officer at when school's out?
They come with us. They either are doing their training or their vacation or they're working their hours while they're out.
Yeah.
We do get some, I mean, we realize the benefit of them being.
That's what I'm saying,
in school,
75,
but
25
We get
is-
some other use of them during the summer months.
Okay.
So, obviously the salaries, I will tell you that the pay increase, the sheriff has asked for 8%.
May I pass out that salary?
Sure. Oh, yeah, please, pass out that you have.
That way you guys.
No, Sheriff. Don't come in here with that mess.
Oh, easy.
There's a lot of notes on there. And I know they're small, but I tried to get all the information.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out this insurance note.
Yeah, that's all I was just reading.
That's true, man.
Yeah, remember I said big increase, decrease? Is that
These
the note
are-
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see a decrease over here at 162.
This is
Yeah.
a salary
Okay.
study we did for this year, and it also includes what the city of Thomaston presented when they got the big increase the year before last. Just, you know, you want to about that next year. You need one?
Easy, think about your family,
Think about what?
your family.
Oh,
Be careful.
Think about my knee.
Don't need to work
Don't do anything crazy.
But it kind of puts it into perspective if you'll see where we're positioned in the market that we consider to be our competition for other employees.
With the 8% that the sheriff was asking, I did the quick math earlier. I met with him at 9 this morning. His deputy would come up to right about where the city was there for 55,436. Where a patrolman starts, he would be at like 55, 2 something with the 8%. And then the city's probably gonna give whatever raise we give across the board again this year. So they'll be that plus 4% higher. I think it's another 2,200 over us already, even if we do this. And it's really, will be 8% for 2027, but for 2026, it's really roughly 6%, right, Alan? Because you're willing to do 4 in January and 4 in
yeah.
July 1. I don't know about the signing bonuses. I was telling them this morning that the city, I know before I left, has had a rash of people leave and they couldn't get that money back. They're supposed to pay that money back, but if they don't have the vacation or the pay to take it back, are you really gonna get it back? So I don't know that has worked out very well for them so far, so we'll see how that goes in the future.
Well, I think they've attracted some folks with it.
Yeah, I think so, but,
Well, why don't you hold it until they,
well, that was the theory, right? So it's supposed to be 7, but they give like 25 up front, and then the next year they're supposed to give 2, and they're supposed to stretch it out over time, but then they get there, they get 2,500 or 3,000 or whatever it was up front, and then they're gone in 3 or 4 months, and then we're trying to fight to get it back, and it's tough, so.
well, that's just a mistake on government's part. That's all. You know, say, hey, you've been here 5 years, we're gonna give you 10,000 off. You know, you gotta make 5 years of it. You know,
Well, the problem you run into is the ones that have been there 5 years, you know, that they feel slighted because they were loyal
You're right.
prior. And that's, you know, that's a Pandora's box when you start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you,
All right, where we at?
bonus stores in the Army, I didn't
So,
get it.
really, there's
On
no,
bonuses,
Yeah, they gave every captain in the Army $30,000 to stay,
Wow.
like a month after they promoted me to major.
Thought they planned it for you.
Oh, I think so.
so, there's nothing remarkable in the sheriff's budget other than, I mean, you see the salary increase. I will tell you, we didn't, because we're looking at it at such a granular level, you're gonna see these insurance, like, one line items up.
I found it up before I found it down, that way it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you find both.
I will tell you
about
that in
30,000.
total, insurance did go up.
Yes.
You know, from last year, our premiums did increase, and that is something that has become a fact of life, not just with health insurance, but auto, everything.
Workman's comp went up.
It's going up.
and I will say this too, you know, you talk about budget increases over the years, and all that stuff used to not be factored into the department budgets too, so, yeah, that, it has, yeah, it was,
Probably accounted for
It was,
within
yeah, somewhere.
a separate department, the
Yeah.
general fund.
we really don't, y'all calculate all that stuff, we don't.
Now, that's patrol is the first page. Your second page, well, there's 2 pages on counts for patrol.
Yeah.
The overall, his change is only like 1.2% on patrol.
Jail operations, same thing. We actually had a nice little credit there, but those credits, again, and this is where he has most of his churn. And so depending on who's hired and how many dependents they have, causes a lot of variation in healthcare costs.
And let me say this to y'all, that at the beginning of this year, we were running 170, 180 inmates, which cost us all because, none of that money gets reimbursed to us. But this morning, I had 123 inmates, which is great. And that's just simply because Judge Sams and Judge Miller have been very diligent in the courts to get these people in and getting them under sentence and resolved.
The new courthouse work?
The new courthouse is helping tremendously. In the last term of court, a few weeks ago, we had 4 courts going at one time. We had 2 jury trials going at the same time. One was a civil trial, one was a criminal trial. So
First time
that
ever.
was unheard of before. We've never been able to do that before. The result of that is it moves these cases quicker, and you've got a judge sitting there and a jury sitting there, which results in sentences. And then in the last, not counting this week, but the 2 weeks prior, we transported about 24 inmates to the state prison after that term of court. So
the new courthouse is saving us money.
it's saving us money. It's saving us a lot. It's more efficient, it's safer, and it's overall saving us money.
You hear that, radio and TV?
That's one of the things that wasn't talked about a whole lot, is what the potential savings by moving through it. Because the general public doesn't understand how much it costs us. We have to pay
I know this is
healthcare and food.
off the budget thing. How long does it take, time you take somebody in? Normally, how long are they there?
That all depends on the seriousness of their charge. Unfortunately, a lot of these mental health people are with me I've got some of them that have been there for quite a while. If they're not competent and not restorable to competency, then they can stay with us for a long time. The ones that come in that get indicted, they either post a bond. If you can't post a bond, if they'll work hard to get a plea that's palatable, then we can get those people under sentence and get them out of the county jail. They'll either be on probation or go to the state prison. But what hurts us is the ones that it takes a long time for crime lab stuff, like the stuff that has the science, the murder cases, the sex cases, those things. It takes a while to get the crime lab stuff back on it. But once it gets to a point where the person's definitely competent and you can get them in front of a judge, then we can move those cases on. But it's very important, and I preach this all the time, is that if somebody's going to probation, they should go quickly. You shouldn't sit on the taxpayer's roll and be paid for. If they're going to prison, that's the ones we need to be focusing on and getting them. If you're going to prison, you need to be going. You don't need to be paying for it. They don't need to sit in the county jail until they can work out a plea that it's pretty much going to be a time served plea. We need to move those people on. It costs us money. I'll give you, for instance, I had a guy in jail for 2 misdemeanors, missed a court date, bench warrant, of course, got him picked up. He's got an HIV issue, 2 misdemeanors, and he's costing us $2,010 every 2 weeks for medication. So the most that he could be fined would be $1,000. So, the judge gave me some grace on that. Judge Miller allowed me to release him to the next court date, and we'll get him out. That means the local taxpayer doesn't have to pay for this guy. But if he gets in jail and can't get out, or if he gets a sentence where he's in here for, you give him a 12-month sentence at $2,000, that's $1,000 a week, and you're going to spend 40, 50 grand on this guy just on medication, not counting feeding him and everything else. So it's expensive.
Is there no place you can send some of these people that are going to be incompetent?
The last time I checked, there were 700 people waiting for a bed, for the ones that, the same beds we're waiting on. Yeah, that's, that, when you hear about the broken mental health system, that's what we're talking about. It's broken. There's nowhere to send them. I've got people that should not be in a county jail, they should be in a hospital. And it's unfortunate that the sheriffs in the state, across the country, and the prisons have become the mental health provider. We're not prepared, not trained for it, and it costs you, the taxpayer, right out of your pocket to get this person in there and treated. Medicaid doesn't cover it, government doesn't cover it, it's right out of the local taxpayer's pocket. And those medicines are expensive.
Yeah. All right, moving on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sort of brighten your day there.
So on jail operations, just to show you, if you look about, just almost halfway down. Medical care is 347, and the very last line item, food and meals, 300,000, that's 647,000 to feed and take care of prisoners, to give you an idea.
And that, those food costs, well, medicine costs, medical costs go down as well, but, food costs will definitely go down. You realize, $1.80 a meal times 3 times a day, and you cut it by 40 inmates. It makes it a lot more efficient to operate. But there's no way to predict that. It may be
Right.
200 by next week, who knows?
Okay, the school resource officers.
I did double check that employee health insurance, and that is because some of the elections changed, and the plan premium is going up, of course. And there's 7 people in the SRO now, so that increased the budget.
All right, now,
A little correction.
Question and answer time then. What's the difference between us paying for their health insurance and the school board paying for their health insurance?
I don't think they're eligible. They're not a school board employee, they're sheriff's office.
Well, they paying 75%.
They're reimbursing.
They're
us.
reimbursing
They
us,
reimburse
yeah.
us. We have to actually bill them for it.
Yeah,
So
they
that's-
get reimbursed.
That's a
They're
little
they're
bit-
reimbursing 75% of salary,
Right.
not benefits.
cost.
And benefits, cost,
All
yeah.
costs.
It's all cost.
And-
Okay.
And they provide the vehicle.
Yeah, the
We
vehicles.
insure the vehicle, they provide the vehicle.
So 75% of the cost, the health, well, our portion of the health care would be in.
Right,
Yes,
right.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's
Okay.
salary and benefit.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we flipped it and then they were
Yeah,
a
'cause
school
she
employee,
billed over
So-
400,000 already this year.
Okay.
Essentially, that 636 number that you're requesting, we're gonna get 75% of that back from the school.
Yes.
And I don't have the detail of the revenue budget, but there's a line item for it. We calculate, based on what we budget, we calculate how much we'll get back. There is a little slight misnomer, we'll correct that. He didn't, the sheriff did not expand his department. He's had 7 SROs. You were down SROs.
I was down,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
We-
what I
we-
had that, yes.
Each of these employees are classified in different parts of the budget. Sometime through the year, as they move around, that number gets skewed. The overall number's the same, just where it gets applied to what line it gets out about.
Okay.
So sometimes, I mean, they're being paid for maybe out of the patrol, but they're working over here at, the pre-K or something like that.
And we do,
We try to.
we
keep
bill,
things
no matter
up.
what the budget code says, we bill that
Yeah.
individual
Yeah.
for reimbursement.
Yeah, it's the individual that
You know,
we bill
the
for.
overall funding's coming back, it may not be at the, we may need to adjust the line, but we're right now, though, we've been right.
Good
Yeah,
job.
most of this year.
What is that? Oh, yeah, community service.
And narcotics.
I don't have anything to say on community service, Sheriff, did you?
Well, community service is something that we're gonna have to visit. If you remember several years ago, I took that project on as a way to help pick up litter on the county roadways. Over time, and COVID kind of stuck a fork in it, but what happens is once they're sentenced to community service, they can come to us 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday, or excuse me, Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 1. So you can get 5 hours a day, 3 times a week. You come to the sheriff's office, we have a community service manager, that person will take them out, and they'll pick up litter on the roadway.
They still doing that?
Occasionally. We're not having great response from the probationers. And we've had this conversation that, you know, it's gonna take an effort from me, from you guys, and from the judges to say, okay, this is what we're gonna do, but you can't be doing community service some other way in the community. If you're gonna get sentenced, you need to be picking up litter on the streets of the community, not working in some other nonprofit
Right,
for hours.
that's right.
And, you know, we've got a litter problem. I'm willing to take that responsibility, manage that program. COVID really put it, we've lost our person that was our part-time employee. We got that budgeted to replace that person. We pay them by the hour. We manage, it's paid all out of community service fees, right? It doesn't cost us any money because they pay a fee to be on community service. That's what we use to pay the expenses. But I don't want to hire somebody if we're not going to be 100% committed to this program. I want to be more.
I'm with you.
I want to be in this program, but if we're not going to be 100% in this program, it's no benefit to me to have to, and I've been covering it with off-duty jail officers or any way I can, but it's of no benefit to me to put somebody out there with two people.
Well, I love to see the people picking up trash.
I agree, and so does the
They
public.
did a good job.
Yes, sir.
Even they even come out where I live.
I want it to happen. I
Yeah,
want
I
it
thought,
to be out
man,
there. I'm an advocate.
they come down
I think
my
it ought to
road.
happen.
So
Yeah,
you won't spend this money unless we can get this program back going and you get somebody hired, right?
That's right, but we collect this money regardless. It's
Oh, that's right. I got
It's a
you.
revenue
It's
off
coming
their
through.
fee. Yeah, they have to pay a fee to be on community service, but then they go do it somewhere else. And, you know, we don't realize, I'm sure somebody does, and it helps somebody, but you're gonna be on community service, you need to be picking up trash.
That's right. I'm with you.
Or we need to be out of it and you do it another way. What, you know, but if we're gonna do it, we need to be 100%.
What's the step on that, you think, Sheriff? Do I need to reach out to somebody? You want to set something up with
I
the
think
judge,
after
or-
the first of the year, we sit down and.
I'll put that on.
We just schedule a meeting, and I think that we need to include the Superior Court judge, a representative there, somebody from the probate, however that race turns out, and somebody from the city actually does something. I think Mark Irvin or somebody that from there would be a good representative, and then get together and see how we're gonna do this. But the probation people are gonna have to be the ones that make it happen. I even funded a telephone to, you know, for these people to call in and schedule their time, and at one time, you know, we'd have more people than we had room on the bus for them to go out. We'd have to schedule them on different days. And now it's nothing. It's down to sometimes zero, sometimes one or two people, and, you know, it's just counterproductive for us to invest in that. If we're not getting more man-hour return than one-on-one, then we're wasting our time.
Well, the other department would be the narcotics task force, and we could, but we just don't do it. We don't allocate the people that are part of the sheriff's office salaries here, and that's patrol budget. What we capture here is just some miscellaneous expenditures and the Byron Jack grant. So we get the grant funds in, and then we keep some of it and we distribute the rest of it to the other counties. I don't know what they call us, like a hub or something.
We're the managing
Or district.
agency or something.
We get a little audit every year.
We get a realization of a portion paid back for 3 employees on there.
So,
And we own the building they're in.
And we write checks to Meriwether, City of Thomaston, and to Taylor.
yeah, so really those 3 last line items, we're getting the same amount in revenue. It's like 111,000 every year. So we record the revenue, and we record the expenditure. The revenue's coming from the grant. So pretty much the revenue offsets most of the expenditures in this. Oh, 911.
Yeah, 911.
Not, yeah, I'm gonna talk
Is
about
that in
it.
there?
Let's see, which way is 911?
It's the
Oh.
budget one.
With the big red emergency 911.
Like, I don't know if y'all can see that, but.
911 joint project again.
And has a surcharge on the telephone, so we get a revenue from, how, you know how much we get on that?
So
About
over
half.
500,000, so we're projecting or budgeting 515,000 in revenue.
We used to operate that entire fund on that surcharge years ago. but over-
What happened, Sheriff?
over time, the cost has just outrun the rent. That $1.50 has not been increased
Right.
since the 70s, I think. And if y'all been seeing this next generation 911 legislation, that's one of their things, is they want to increase the surcharge to help fund some 911 stuff. So, you know, I think we have to, from my position as the sheriff and your position as the county commissioners, are gonna have to make sure that we're well represented on that funding as it comes back to us in our center, and not go to some state agency somewhere. We just need to keep apprised of what's going on there.
So what we're transferring in from the joint projects fund, this is taxed under the joint projects taxing district, it's $406,000. The city's portion is $191,000, which is the very top line item on the revenue. There's nothing, I mean, most of his expenditures, you know, the real changes are in the compensation piece, pretty much it.
You still lack a director, don't you?
Sir?
You still lack a director, don't you?
No, he's got-
we've got a director. Neil Sanders is our director. We've got a director and we've got 12 operators. We've got 3 on each shift. They work 12-hour shifts, and so there's 4 different shifts.
I'll just tax everybody in the county.
Question that on all.
Are we done with that?
We're done.
Now,
All right.
we have some other questions?
Now we're on the truck, cars.
Wait, no. Thank you, Sheriff. Where's my capital?
That's
Oh,
where,
yeah, that's right, we had the car.
that's where he's going.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I was already headed down that driveway.
Oh. So we talked about, I mentioned to him earlier, and I think you had a quote or two already on the police interceptors, but I just used, I think I used 50,000, and then for 6 vehicles, 350,000, and then added 90,000 worth of equipment to equip them all, be 390,000, and then you need a new Explorer. I should have put, I failed, gentlemen, to put the equipment on that. I put 55,000, but I don't, it's 45,000, hallelujah, so I'm close. 45,000, it may be 56, 57,000 once he equips it. He's got $21,000 in reimbursement from insurance. This is to replace a vehicle that was totaled in an accident. Oh, replace his car, I'm sorry, I'm getting it all wrong. I should let him talk.
I've got a total car. I want to push my car down the line, replace something. Now, I'm probably not going to drive a police package car, but I want to replace my vehicle this year.
So it may be more than 55,000.
That'd
Ford F-150 Platinum.
No.
King Ranch.
Probably going, no, that's King Ranch.
So, have you got them ones that you were supposed to get this year?
I've
yet?
got them.
You did?
I got 2 of them.
I was gonna say, don't you have more to buy, we were talking about this morning?
Look, I want to order the cars for next year as soon as y'all give me the green light, because
And that was-
I'm still waiting on getting all this stuff done. I'm almost in November. And
Yeah, I know.
I want to go ahead and order them and get them in here where we can be ahead of ourselves for next time. We're in a pretty tight spot with
So,
cars.
does that include, are those 2 included in this 6?
No, sir, all that's done.
How many did we purchase this year, 5 or 6?
6.
Purchased 6, 2 of them have delivered.
Yeah.
Okay.
But more, jokingly, this morning, I'm waiting after the rut's over to put them on the road. I don't want to hit I don't want to deer with them. We'll wait a couple of weeks.
Evidently, it started this morning.
Yes, I think you're right.
I
We're starting to
saw
see an uptick in deer wrecks. So,
Yep.
you
I
know,
saw it this morning.
in a couple of weeks, when all that's over, we'll been out all the time itself outright. But what I don't want to do is wait till we're in this boat next year. You know, we're usually first quarter in dealing with cars, and here we are in last quarter dealing with cars. I want to order 26 cars now where they can get ordered and get
Not
shipped.
26 cars.
No,
2026.
I want to order them for next year.
Yeah, go ahead, get
Where
your
they,
26.
where they come in,
So you have next year.
yeah, where we'll have them first part of the year. and
Are
then
you
we
gonna
can
get the
go ahead and-
remaining 4 from by the end of this year?
I'm sorry?
Are you gonna get the remaining 4?
When's
Well, I've
the-
got them, we've already purchased, that's all.
No, he said,
That's
when
all
are they gonna be
that's already-
delivered to
Yeah,
us?
you'll have
This is
delivery.
all for next year stuff.
We're
But
talking
you don't
about-
have those delivered yet for this
No,
year.
no, I haven't even ordered them
You
yet.
got any quotes, you got any quotes on them?
Yeah, that's what he just told me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
hold on. The 6 cruisers that we ordered this year,
They're already here, that's done, that's a done deal.
I thought you said you had 2 of them.
I got 2 back from the equipment shop. I got all the cars.
Okay.
I purchased all the cars.
All 4 cars,
Oh.
all 6 vehicles are here,
That's-
2 of them are equipped.
Yeah, the
Okay.
others should be here in a week.
Okay.
I
The
got you.
the others are for
They
next
wrote a
year.
big check.
I'm like,
Yeah, the
make it make
others-
sense for me.
What we would order now would be for fiscal year 26.
Okay, and then, we ordered the ones for 26, and then
Not this year.
sometime during next year, we'll see 6 vehicles going to, what do you call that? Surplus.
Surplus, yeah, I hope so. I know you're gonna have 5 this year if our plan works out.
Mhm.
And all that works around Rex and stuff like that. I got 5 plus the one I got the check for.
Oh, that'd be great.
So,
So that's 6,
well,
yeah,
but
what was the
I
total?
can't turn them in now because we're using them, but, you know. But yeah, I mean, in theory, that's the way that works, depending on
Rex.
Rex. And
No, let's back up.
I got a couple of folks that don't have a car too right now.
You said you had 5, but you can't turn them in right now.
Because you got the 6 new ones that
No,
are
you don't.
equipped.
But once I get all my stuff back, I'm gonna turn them in.
Okay. So
What's-
the ones that are being equipped right now. Okay.
Yeah, he has surplus vehicles to turn in once he gets those 6 equipped.
I will.
But it's 5 because one was a total, and he's got a check for that.
Right.
And that's why we use that check and then, you know, buy a car.
How did that last auction go?
We had,
Basically scrap metal.
I forget how many vehicles, 5 or
You gotta
6
go
for
back.
you, and a couple. We made about
Still on the
$28,000. We made about $28,000.
Wow.
There was about 8 vehicles in total.
Okay. So we're getting 10% of the money back, basically.
Yeah, the sheriff puts a lot of miles on it.
Yeah, when I give you one back now, it's probably got a bad transmission. And
Yeah.
or the front end maybe caved in. It's probably not very usable. You know, a tree fell on it, yeah, so.
The reason I was gonna ask some of these questions was, I was behind one yesterday, day before, it's a 2018 model. You still got 2018s out
I
there?
got 2014 out there.
What's happening? You ain't wrecked it or what?
No, I'm probably not told, but I didn't say it hadn't been wrecked. We had a pretty bad year there a couple of years ago. But,
Can't we shift some of that, you know, I mean, cause it's gonna bring nothing.
I'm gonna use it. I'm not worried about getting it. I'm not worried about selling it. I wanna use it till it ain't no good. I'm gonna get every dime I can out of it.
But we don't get any money out of it. We need some kind of return.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, right now, if it's a 2014, we ain't gonna get $500 for it.
You're not getting, I'd never look at that as a moneymaker. You're liquidating a liability at that point. You're not selling an asset.
Well, Sheriff, how many cars do you have in the fleet?
For 40,
So my point is, if you're doing 6 a year and you got, say, 48,
Yeah.
they gonna drive them 8 years.
yeah, it's gonna take them.
And they gonna be 8 years old to
If the
flip.
car's of any value, I'm gonna rotate it out of a front line position down to a, non-emergent, like a investigator's position or something like that. I try to utilize that vehicle to its maximum before we surplus it. That's the cheapest way for us to operate.
Right.
Yeah, I don't wanna get rid of a car that's got, and that's one thing when we looked at the leasing thing is, it was attractive for us for maybe 5 years, but after that, it was gonna cost us more to operate, and we never owned anything. This way, we can own it, and that car may not be worth anything, but it may get an inmate to the hospital and back, that kind of stuff, rather than leasing a brand-new vehicle. So,
We
Lease
have
it.
another
Lease it.
appointment at the,
To-
I'm sorry?
our certain commission, next person.
Okay, as long as we get rid of them and
Yeah, you getting rid of them, it's just, it ain't worth nothing, like, you get rid of them. But it's not supposed to be, I mean, it's supposed to use it.
We can get them off insurance at least.
Yeah, we deplete the useful stuff.
Well, I think that
As long as we do it
I ran
safe.
into this in the city, right? So Mike always wanted 2 or 3, and I'm like, how many you got? Well, I got 30. I said, so you're telling me cars are gonna last 10 or 12 years? Well, no. I'm like, well, did you go and you need to buy more 2 or 3 a year, right? If they're not gonna last, how many years are they gonna last? That's how many we gotta kind of replace on average. And so it sounds like 6 a year, but if you're running 40 something, you ain't gonna work through that whole cycle for 8 years.
how far, this is just a personal question, no, it ain't really personal, it's a government question. How far does your farthest person live away that we paying for?
Our policy says 30 miles. None live anywhere close to that. I've got one that's parking at the, I think they've already started, parking at the, I let them drive to the sheriff's office in Meriwether County and leave the car there, and then they go on over to near LaGrange. I won't let them drive the car to LaGrange.
See these
We were
50
talking
miles.
about that this
One way.
morning. If, you know, if you're letting somebody drive 50 miles a day, that's 50 miles one way, that's 100 miles a day. That works to 26,000 miles a year. You know, that's a
And haven't
lot of
even done
wear and
They haven't even
tear.
done anything. You ain't
I'm
even
not-
controlled anywhere.
I'm not willing to
And
do that.
gas.
And gas, and insurance deductibles, they probably gonna hit it too. Yeah, so I'm, you know, I get it, in today's law enforcement climate, everybody has a take-home car, but you gotta be responsible too. You can't, it's not fair to wear that vehicle out and become,
I mean, I see Clayton County.
All the
see
time.
City of
Yes, sir.
Griffin.
Spalding,
Yeah.
City of Griffin.
Yeah,
that's what, if you look on that salary survey, it'll tell you, you know, a lot of them what the range on it is. Some of them don't have a range.
yeah, I saw some of that.
I'm, you know, my policy says 30 miles. But still, that's a long way. Luckily, I don't have anybody doing that.
Hopefully.
I don't. They're all pretty local.
Sorry?
Thank you, Sheriff.
Appreciate it.
What about, the building stuff and all that? Is that,
Okay, gracious.
do we need to talk about it?
Yeah, we did. But I don't think it's gonna, there's 2 things we need to talk about. And obviously, I need to revise this capital thing.
Can I say something?
Oh, sure.
We're talking about cars, because in all seriousness, I do want to order cars as quick as I can order them, because remember, when I go order them, it's going to take a while to get them. So I want to get them in that order bank, get them here as quick as I
Well, if
can.
we ordered them, but we didn't have to pay for them until next year.
That's
They
right.
came in early.
Exactly, yeah. If I order them today, they're
Yeah.
not coming till next year.
Yeah, you won't have to pay till they get here.
But it's SPOS money too. I mean,
Right,
it's
right,
it's
right.
not like it's rolling into that budget.
But you have
Allocated.
2026 quotes?
Yes,
You do?
He's got,
I've got it.
Well, I know you got it, but we
He's
ain't
got
got it.
it.
I ain't seen it. You can come on in. We just talking about you.
Come on in, Tom.
You know what?
so what we'll do, if you guys, if the board is okay with him ordering them, I can submit to you, it's too late for tomorrow or today. I'll have to wait till the next board meeting to submit the official request with the numbers and quotes and things for you guys to officially approve the purchase, if you're good with that.
I just
Next
want,
agenda.
I want to get it in the queue, so we're not doing what we did this year.
Yeah. As long as we got money in front of us.
We got them.
There's SPOS allocated already.
Now,
I mean,
I'm
it's
talking
already.
about how much it's gonna be.
Yeah, we got
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But the
We
couple
ain't seen
things,
that.
real quickly, and I will add this to the capital budget and recirculate it. One, the sheriff wants to refurnish his jail, his office, which includes the jail, obviously. The other is, and new flooring, so new furnishings, new flooring. I don't know what that figure will be. I don't know. I don't know how many desks. and
You want that to come out of that other fund,
We're going to
correct?
bring that out of
So,
jail construction.
That'll,
Jail construction.
that'll come, I need to present it and put the fund, jail construction fund down.
We
have-
still got money in that.
Oh, we have plenty.
Yeah.
And he needs to use it, so that would be a great place to use it. The other is, which we, I don't know if it even get done this year, but Merrick, examined their roof, found out that wasn't as bad as it could have been. So the repair is about $55,000. We were supposed to have another call, we didn't make that call, but I'll come back to the board then. That could even, we could use SPOS or jail fund monies with that too, so that's
We'll do
it.
that interview room.
Redo it, yeah, interview. So,
We just, there's, we've got some furniture and stuff that's 22 and almost 23 years old. It's pretty worn, so.
Should have been made out of real wood back then.
It was pretty good now, honestly. One of my guys sat down in a chair this morning, the arm broke. But, so, it's time to
All right.
upgrade that stuff.
all right. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank
Am I
you.
done?
Thank you,
Yes,
Bud.
sir, thank you.
What are we doing that for? Am I waiting?
No, he's
No-
waiting on him
November-
to see us.
The November agenda.
Okay, so.
We'll go ahead and do
yes. Good enough. Thank y'all.
Okay, this is just for the renovations. Let me confirm. Okay.
No, the last one's at 4, I think.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, you got to stay. You gotta bring us
I
all
gotta go
dinner.
see, I gotta go see Robert, 'cause I can't get any of my
Oh, really?
county stuff on the phone.
Sounds convenient.
Have you been able to log on to the,
Yeah.
website? Were you able to see this meeting?
Yeah, take whatever you want.
But I didn't look today. I don't know.
We're gonna take just a few seconds.
Hey, we'll come back at 3:15. 3:15.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
You all right there, boss?
Move on. You know, sitting
Yeah,
back,
what do I do?
it makes you be going.
Tell me something else.
Dude, I see I'm moving better.
Good, how are you?
Dad doing okay?
You go, you're in a hurry, I'm not.
Living the retired life?
I know. I got to see him the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said something about he knew my granddad or something. I was like, how do you know my granddad? I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
When he did the appeal, I was,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
at
he
the, I was
told
at the
me.
house and he was like, because he saw my last name, he's just like, I said, and he called out like my name. I was like, how in the world did you know my granddad?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, feeling pretty good.
Now, is that the house you grew up in? The house that he's living in right now?
No, that's my grandparents'
Okay,
house.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, my mom lived in the house that I grew up in.
Okay, okay.
Off Thurston.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Done a lot of work to the Hill Street house.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of work in the house.
I worked.
That's why, like I said, that's why he felt that he got us out there. And I mean, there, when I tell you, there's a lot of work.
That's in there.
A lot of work.
And I put a quick little note in there for it.
But we took care of that. That wasn't a problem, we took care of that.
That was good.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Can't fix it, no. What's up, Trevor?
Hey, you, sir?
I ain't dead yet.
Well, that's a good thing. That is a really good thing.
I ain't dead yet.
Okay. Tax assessor. After roads. Tax assessor. Tax commissioner. Ag. Planning and zoning.
Oh, me too. I really do.
All right,
You ready?
Roll it.
everybody. These were here.
You all may have found tax assessor already.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And it says they're giving us money back.
Always.
Okay, Charles, you have your copy?
I do.
Let's wait till.
Well, the only one we miss is Jessica. And
Oh, you got it, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing I have is in the same order as you guys. Charles, you want to start?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't really know what I'm starting with, but I guess the biggest thing is that the high ticket item down there, contract labor and services. It was recommended by Department of Revenue when they were doing the PRB during my final interview that they recommended that Keith, our personal property appraiser, is totally and separately going to be personal property. And in that, they suggested that we either hire another appraiser to be a commercial appraiser or we contract it out. Now, I understand we don't have the PRB yet, but that was a recommendation from them. So I went ahead and put it in the budget just so it would, as a placeholder, just in case the PRB came in and supported what I'm saying.
so you don't have, how many personal properties you got?
We got personal property, we probably have about, I'd say about 2,000, right?
No.
How many?
Oh.
How many appraisals?
Oh, one, just one, yeah. And you gotta have, like I said, personal property appraisers, which I found out during the PRB, have to be dedicated to personal property only. So, which, right now, he's not, he's doing commercial and personal property, so. And that was a recommendation from them. I said, okay, I'll take it, note it. I shared it with the board. I went ahead and put it in the budget, because again, I don't know when the PRB is gonna come out. Last I was told, it could be January or February before we see it. Yeah.
And we were really hoping it'd come on out, because, I think that would have cleared up a lot of the
Right.
public sentiment about things. Yeah, we might have a few little issues, but overall, we're getting things done like it's supposed to be done.
So that would give you one more, how many appraisals you
Well,
got altogether?
honestly, Commissioner Jonathan, I don't think another appraiser is the answer, because first, we don't have the facility. Second of all, me being concerned, even though I know I'm not a citizen here, my concern is you'd have to do retirement, you'd have to do insurance, you'd have to do all that stuff for a new employee.
So this
If
was
it was
just
if it's
recommend,
contracted,
this was just
that's
a
good.
recommendation, not a,
Well, it was recommended, but he's thinking about just contracting it out to somebody.
As opposed to trying to
Yeah.
hire another body in there, because one, we don't have the facilities. Two, again, I'm thinking about insurance, I'm thinking about retirement, all that extra money that the county would have to funnel into a new employee. If they're contracted, not a big, no harm, no foul.
And I found a guy in Griffin, Matt Wood, you know Matt?
The name sounds familiar.
That I reached out to some people that I know, and they said that Matt Wood has done this for them on a contract basis in Griffin. We could call him, I didn't get a rate yet or anything, but I did get a name.
okay, carry on.
We could wait till the report comes out, and if that's what it says, he's just putting this in here for.
So, but I think your question was, how many appraisers do you have in the office right now?
Right now, let's see, there is, 1, 2, 3, so there's 9, 6.
So you have 6 appraisers in the office, right? You must have one that does commercial property.
No, well, I must have one that does personal property. Commercial's not, it's just, they're recommending that we get another commercial appraiser, because our count right now per appraiser is roughly about 3,800 parcels per appraiser. State would prefer us to have 3,500 per appraiser. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, 3,800, 4,000 works. It does work. 3,500, that's a lot of fluff, in my opinion. But with that, if I took one of my other appraisers away from that, then that means all the other appraisers are gonna increase over 4,000, and then it may slow down review work and that kind of stuff.
How many commercial properties do we have?
About 23, I think it is, 21 or 23. 100, yeah.
Okay. So adding 300 more properties per appraiser if you didn't add an appraiser.
Right.
take
Do you think that worked?
I mean, like I said, we can give it a shot.
So the other large increase in his budget.
Oh, there's another one.
He just said,
It's, well, percentage-wise, it's not that extraordinary or anything, but he is asking for an additional $6,000 for one employee, which I don't know what the percentage would be of their salary. It's influencing the change in the salaries. And for these guys, it's the same 2% COLA and the step 1.75. Did we promote anybody during the year? or-
That increase, in the notes, basically it's because they filled the position that they had open, with a position from within, and it's slightly higher than,
Someone that was already
Yes.
employed?
yeah,
Okay.
Manisha from 4-H.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly higher means what?
I don't have that. Do you know?
Say again.
Slightly higher means what? Do you know how much
Yeah,
more?
it was like $3,500 a year more. I mean, it wasn't a big amount.
Yeah, because she worked for, it was 4-H, right?
Yes,
She worked
yes.
for 4-H, yeah.
So, I said everybody but Heather will get, the 2% COLA. Heather gets a $6,000 raise.
And
That's
that
what
was,
they're
not to try to correct you, I just want to, it wasn't Charles that's asking it was the board that was asking.
Yes,
Yeah.
let me give you a little background on it. And we have 2 appraisals now that really do an outstanding job. And one of them, well, both of them have been recruited from other counties, and we definitely don't want to lose them because they are the ones we can count on. In fact, one of them, Heather, the one we're asking for the raise for, she stood in for Tony when Tony was out for, how long were you out there? 2.5 months. And she is an outstanding employee. I mean, super. She can fill in any place we need her.
Absolutely.
She's just great, and we don't want her leaving. And there's 2 counties.
I just want you to know, you're on YouTube Live when you're talking about people's pay and their names, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that. But
I thought you might not, that's why I just, let me
Okay.
tell you.
All right, anyway, she just does an outstanding job, and to keep her from leaving, because she's been recruited from, like I say, 2 other counties are trying to get her to come there, and we want to keep her here. Yeah. Because we may have some vacancies within the next few years, 10 years anyway, when some others retire, or look to retire, and
Yeah.
she's one that could step up, and I just don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to get into that position where we're like, preemptively,
Well, I'm not saying she would get it back, because I probably won't be on board much longer, because I'm getting on that level.
but, I mean, we have similar cases, right, where we can say, well, we would just add the sheriff in here, right?
Yes,
sir.
And the sheriff can say, hey, our patrol makes, I don't know, 53, right? Well, they can go over to Forsyth and make 57, right? And I'm making numbers up for YouTube land. So we have to look at, are we going to get into this like bidding type deal? Or do we want to pay competitive for living here in Upson County and, take care of our people, but I don't know that we can get into always trying to, go, it can be this position this month, and then this person's doing a great job over here, and they could go to Fulton County or whatever.
Well, I certainly see where you're coming from, but 2% for one of these employees that exceeds, seems like not very much reward for exceeding at their job. So, that's what we're trying to do, is those that really want to work and do their job and are proud of their work and proud of their job, to reward them. But I said where y'all are coming from too, but I hope you understand where we're coming from. We're looking out, hopefully for the whole county by trying to keep our above average employees.
Okay. All right, understand. Anything else we need to cover?
There was the one vehicle I mentioned earlier. I just took a stab at 50,000 for.
Oh, the one that got wrecked.
For Escape. I don't really know. It's probably a lot less than that since we got a quote on an issue, the police interceptor for 40 something. So
Escape we bought was 30.
that look, okay, so we might, but looking at 40. So, but they do need a vehicle. We got a $7,000 reimbursement check on the one that was.
Now, are we buying off of a state contract or?
Every time we got a statewide contract.
We got any vehicles already in the fleet?
I'm not aware of any that we have.
We tried it.
What do you mean you tried?
We thought we were gonna give a vehicle, and Alan and I met, we're like, we'll give you one that the senior center had. She's like, they use that every day, you can't have that one.
Yeah, I think they missed it.
We didn't have Jessica, so we were giving away stuff we couldn't give away.
We got a 2014 Cruiser.
I mean,
Just take the Upson County Sheriff's Department offside of it.
okay, that was all I had.
All right, I think I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I'm gonna have to get up here. I can stand over there.
Everybody, thank you, Sam.
My ACOs, my chairman's supposed to sign.
I do have them, but I haven't scanned them in yet. I'll have them for you tomorrow.
We gotta get that revenue in now, need it.
I think I like Andy's cover sheet better.
Person does look under duress.
Andy giving us money.
Could put some
So
of
he
that,
actually signed?
some of that Roman era stuff in there.
Yeah, I signed a bunch of those.
I did what you asked me to, Andy.
I didn't know what I was walking into.
Do what?
When he was out, I signed a bunch of those.
Oh,
I'm just gonna start keeping them and taking them to his house.
That'd be a sign
Just make sure you get letters are we can, if we can't do it.
All right, there we go.
This is Andy's.
Anything stick out on here?
Where's the legal fees? Even one.
Yeah, $5,000.
Yeah.
Under professional services somewhere, weren't they?
Yeah, somewhere over.
No, it's in there incorrectly at 500.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Okay, so the $500 for professional services legal should be 5,000, not 500. Andy's requesting, we've never had that in his budget, but he can explain to you why he's requesting that for his budget. I mean, we've got a note, it's contingency, we're outside legal counsel in case of conflict of interest.
Right. It was something I would hope to never use, but in case I needed it to retain a lawyer for conflict of interest, or kind of like what the tax assessors have, somebody to represent them. But it would be, like I said, be something I hope I never have to use. And it's something that many other tax commissioners in the state have in their line item budgets.
So it's 5,000?
Right, and that's just mainly retainer fee.
That's why I say, how much they're gonna get you?
Well, I mean, I know some that would, just like the case I had
Yeah.
against the county, they had to charge what the county attorney charged.
Yeah.
So it's something I didn't bring up the other day, is that since we might not use it, I hate not to put it so that we don't forget about it, but we can
It'd be an
always,
amendment.
if it happens,
Yeah.
we can
Budget
always
amendment.
amend the budget, and that's why we have a contingency too, for things like this that happens. It just helps us overall. Every dollar, if you think of it that way, helps us in keeping
Yeah.
taxes down.
So let me ask you this, with that in mind, if I come up to you and say,
I think if you need it, you need it, right?
yeah, if I come up to you and say, hey, I gotta have a fee to get an attorney. I come to the county, come to you and say, hey, yeah, okay, here you go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm good with that, just as long as it's, everybody knows about it.
Okay, you're good with, I'm good with.
I mean, worst case scenario, we would just expend it in our administrative finance budget.
Yeah,
A lot of times, that's where we
And there's
put
times,
most legal is in there.
also, there's times I have bankruptcy cases on taxpayers. And as long as it's state bankruptcy, not a federal bankruptcy court, the county attorney can handle it, but they can't handle federal bankruptcy. We ran into a big problem with Southern Grinding that owed us $100,000 a few years ago. Well, the county attorney couldn't handle it because they filed federal bankruptcy in Macon. I had to go to an outside attorney to get them to file, so things like that.
Yeah, but that's gonna be way more than $5,000 by the end of it, too, right? We're gonna have
He
to
did
pay.
pretty cheap, but that's kind of like a retaining fee, and then whatever they end up doing, we settle up the.
If you can collect $100,000 by hiring a $5,000 attorney, we're in on that every time.
I'm serious.
I don't mean to speak for the board, but count us in on that every time.
He was a friend, and it was his first, he was just getting into law, and he knew bankruptcy, and he took on the case almost pro bono.
I mean, you know, we got professional services anyway, so, you know, like you said, we could just amend the budget and something.
Yeah, or pay for it out of our own department, admin finance department.
Right.
All comes from the general fund.
Anything else?
I want to explain the postage. I was talking with Alan and Lacey the other day. I had $2,800 for this year. And at first I thought it was a typo on someone's end, but it wasn't. I remember after I left what it was. I send out quite a bit of delinquent letters every year. And we usually have around 4,000, 4,500, you know, taking into account the postage is going up. But I dropped it to 2,800 last year thinking that I'm going to use my tax sale company to send out delinquent letters. And what they do, they tack on $50 on the delinquent taxpayer's bill, and they send them a series of 3 letters. That was my plan for this year. Well, when things got started, I changed my plan. I can keep up with it better doing it myself. And they see, the taxpayers, the delinquent taxpayers see those forms that come from this outside company, and they don't pay attention to them. Okay, but I doctor them up and they pay attention to them a little bit. But so I changed horses in midstream. That's why we're over on postage this year.
Yeah, I do open that letter.
I
It says tax commission.
almost wanted to blame it on Alan that it was a typo, but it wasn't.
It would have worked.
It happened, the 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the 500, I guess, versus 5,000.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We're all being so honest.
Now, we got commercial postage or anything, or,
We use the discounted postage here. So,
I know, post office, they done raised it again.
Yeah.
and you know, taking that $50 onto a delinquent taxpayer that can't pay their taxes already, you know, kind of makes it a little bit tougher for them.
Insult injury.
That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Are we ahead of schedule?
Who else we got?
That's it.
Oh, did we talk about security?
Oh, no, we didn't talk about security. Is it in here? What did y'all
No,
do?
we took it back
We took it
out
out.
because we were talking about being,
So the security thing, I've talked to, Russell just said you don't get a lot for a security company because they can't put their hands on people. They got liability issues. I have talked to the sheriff. The sheriff is not pro-security or against security, but if we go the security route, he wants to control it. Wants them to be a deputy if we do that. So that's kind of what he said, and then the board just needs to decide what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do it. He did say that he would make sure that we had rides to the bank or whatever for city and county if we didn't want to go a security route, but y'all just decide whether, I do think I have the city on board to pay through the facilities budget, pay for half a person if we wanted to go that route. But the sheriff did ask that we run it through the sheriff department.
And he could
He could control.
provide people when the other one's like off on a holiday.
Yeah, I think that was kind of where that was some of his question on some of that, how it would work, but he would at least like to sit down and talk to us about it if we were gonna do it. But I don't think we're hiring 2 people, so I think we'd have to figure out if somebody were out, but yeah, that was kind of where he was at.
And where I'm coming from on it, I have no problem running it to the bank myself, but when I'm gone, of course I can't have my ladies. And they're not gonna use their car to ride it to the bank, so they'd have to have someone to take them to the bank or have access to a vehicle and this person go along with them, whatever. I think we talked about a vehicle use just for that.
Well, we would, so we got a couple options there on the vehicle thing. We've got, if the sheriff put somebody here, they probably would have a vehicle. If we don't have that one here, I mentioned about trying to talk to the city. If you're not here, the city has a couple vehicles that I'm sure they would let your folks use to go to the bank, but I don't think that's an issue, so. I can get that worked out.
Okay.
Complex and stuff.
I got my little running list here of things we're gonna go back to.
Yeah, that's right.
So
So that was just something we need to talk about amongst y'all on the security thing on
that's
it.
basically a patrol,
Yeah, it would be another person for patrol, essentially add another position is what the sheriff would have to have.
Well, on the vehicle.
we just don't turn one in, get 2014.
No, I'm saying if we didn't go that route, I'm saying that we could have a vehicle. He's gotta have a vehicle, that's
So
right.
add another vehicle.
That's right.
That's 11 years old.
That's right. Give him an old one.
You don't want another.
That's 2014, it's just gotta make it across the square.
And it's doing good too.
That's right. But yeah, that's what we're.
You missed the whole,
you
patrol,
missed
did you hear
it
the
there.
patrol vehicle?
Dan said he still had some cars on the road from 2014, so now we're saying, did you use that one? You go,
He said he liked it too. So,
Okay, got it.
thank you, bud.
One more patrol.
Hayden's next.
who's next?
I think we're a little early.
Yeah, I called.
Doug,
Then Doug is last, right?
Ben,
Sue?
Ben, we got water.
No, we're.
That's just in there
Yeah, I think that's just probably.
for
it.
review.
Okay.
We got Haley next, and then we have planning and zoning.
If Lonnie wants to,
Yes.
talk to it a little, speak to it a little bit while we're waiting on Haley. We put the water and solid waste budgets in there. Now, let me say this, we're not required by law to prepare a budget by, law of Georgia, state law, to prepare budgets for enterprise funds. However, we do, and we prepare our budgets on, using fund accounting basis, but how you account for things in an enterprise fund at the end of the year, if you were to look at our audited financial statements, is a little different from the way you account for things. Fund accounting is pretty close to cash basis, although it's not entirely all cash basis. Now, Lonnie probably will be discussing with you all more the need to increase rates for water and particularly solid waste. We fall way behind on our per cart rate on solid waste. I don't know if you've had even, I'm projecting we'll be close to $100,000 shortfall in solid waste this year.
So I'm looking at the rates on the solid waste to start out with. I haven't gotten into the water and sewer yet. I shared that with the chairman who happened to be in my office today. It would be, I tried to keep the gap, so now it's 46 for a regular cart per quarter and 35 for, what is that, senior or special needs or
Yeah,
something along those lines. It's
door.
around 35. And I took the number of customers we have in each class and kind of built a formula, and we keep that same gap, but I think the numbers probably need to be about 45 on the lower one and about 60 on the other, which happens to coincide with what the city charges is 60 per quarter. So it would need to be going up about $15 a quarter, so $5 a month. But that would get us another $100,000 or so and kind of break us even on the sanitation. I'm not saying we got to try to take any money out of sanitation, but I think we need our trash to at least pay for itself with what they're charging us. So I'm looking at all those rates, and then I'm going to look at water and sewer kind of the same way.
Because we transferred $500,000 from solid waste fund balance, because we had accumulated from way back when this fund was started, we had accumulated some fund balance, but we transferred that into water this year to help pay for the Thurston well. So we only have roughly right at 300,000 left, and we'll use up all of that this year.
Yes.
Yeah, so we won't, water would have to be subsidized in solid waste if we don't do something about the car rates.
Yeah, so we knew that was kind of coming, and that's,
And water's tight too. So what you see are numbers to balance the budget, so to speak. That doesn't necessarily reflect what's in the system, and then you all will have to approve. Now,
So it's gonna take $15 more a month.
no, a quarter.
Well, a quarter.
That's right. So
Every-
$5 a
every
month.
3 months.
That's right.
So to break even?
Just to break even, basically what I'm seeing on the
We're losing
funds.
money right now.
We're
Fred.
still losing?
Yeah, on the
we
trash we are.
didn't do anything, we haven't done anything with car rates. We didn't do anything last year, and what we've done before wasn't enough. But, GFL is far, their increases in their car rates, but they charge us far surpassed what we.
I mean, it should be passed through.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to take the number of customers on each one. I'm trying to keep that gap. We want to give some kind of a gap to people that need help, seniors and these things. So I'm trying to, if that was 30% before, I'm kind of keeping that at 30, but here's where the new numbers need to be.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Seniors get a discount?
I don't know, I can't remember what they were. I think they
It
do
was
it.
door to door and disabled people.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so I don't say it's just seniors, yeah, I think, I might have said
Not
that,
just-
but I think.
Not just all seniors.
Yeah.
If you can't make it to the road.
Right,
you
right.
go there.
No,
Let's
they have
fix
to be
that.
disabled.
The senior, a little while.
Yeah, you sit here with Alan.
Yeah, where's mine at then? I mean, what?
I think-
So, yeah, that's where we are.
I think we do need to talk about it. We need to talk about it seriously. I don't think it's, do it all at one shot though. That's $15 a month for a lot of people.
$15 a quarter.
I mean, a quarter, still same difference. I write a check, every
Yeah.
3 months. $15 more, to some people. If we, break it up, $5, and then 2 months later, $5, and then.
Well, we could do about a quarter. We could try to figure it out. We'll figure something out.
I just think $15 on some of these people may be a little tough. But I do want to break even at least.
Yeah, I think
Break
we
even.
got to at least
We
do
got
that.
to.
Whatever they're charging us is
Well,
kind of,
If we don't,
we're going to be funding it from something
water
else.
is a razor's edge. We got to increase rates there, or we're not.
Well, we need to talk about water too, because I think water needs to be
But
raised.
water will have to subsidize solid waste.
Right.
If we can't get into that, then general fund. So we
I
gotta
mean,
do
We
something.
just spent all that money out there at
Thursday.
Thurston, and so we need to,
Get it back.
we need to work on the water rate.
Yeah, I'm working on that next.
Okay.
And then,
So I'll do that in the next few days.
when we get done with that lift station, I want to give that lift station to the county.
To the city.
Not
Yeah, I've talked to them. They don't seem to be willing to, they're not as eager to take it as we are to give it, but I have brought it up.
After we pay for fixing it?
Yeah.
We don't give it away?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, it's still gonna cost us money down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't even own sewer. And it's for the housing authority. It has nothing to do with anybody in the whole county. It's really a city thing, because it's the Thomaston Housing Authority. Why are we paying for a lift station?
It's about 40 people, right, that are involved,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Well, it's in the county, it's not in the city limits.
I know. But still.
I was working on that. Before you ever said anything, I knew that was a big thing, so I've been trying to find that boat.
Well,
We digress.
we have our esteemed county extension agent, full-time county extension agent. And that became effective August 1st?
September 1st.
September 1st. That was, my apologies for not informing the board to those happenings. This has been a process that's been going on for
2021.
2021. And so a big part of it was getting the University System of Georgia to add an additional position for Thurston. And that took a minute, and then once they did, they couldn't find anyone, or people they had found weren't qualified. And they finally found someone qualified to serve Lamar County so that we could get Haley full-time. That's the biggest change you see in her budget on the compensation.
Was Lamar County even paying us?
They were, I forget. how
They
much.
paid $250 a month for the truck and phone. They were supposed to.
Were they actually paying it?
200. Okay, so 200.
month.
That's a just the question.
2,400 a year.
They were paying it.
But then they covered, actually they paid more towards my salary than Upson County did originally.
Originally.
And then when y'all took me over, then y'all covered their portion. But Upson County was doing 13 to 14,000, where Lamar County was doing about 20.
They liked her better than we did.
Well, that comes from the West days.
Haley did not plan, usually she has a summer camp every year, but we didn't plan a summer camp this year.
No, we did. It's just
We did?
different. Yes.
Oh,
It's just different.
sorry. Different.
Yeah, she cut a lot of people.
It's like
Yeah.
had 15 employees, temporary seasonal employees.
So you don't see that per se, but that is built into this or the savings.
So it would have been even higher at the top level if you hadn't cut that.
There'd
for
been like a
36,000 according to.
So another 20 grand.
If I just read the notes.
Yeah, it's all in the note.
Yeah, another $36,000. So I cut that. We can always put it back.
They're like, no, you're good. Just no.
So what we noticed, well, there's two reasons. I mean, do y'all want me to tell y'all stuff or not?
Yes,
You're So the reason we did that is two reasons. We've been doing the summer day camp for 5 years, and the last 3 years it's just gotten less and less and less. So this last year, I think we had about 28 students, where we can take up to 50. And it's because there's other camps, like the Fun Zone has a camp. They've got the camp out in Salem. Some of the daycares are starting to host camps. So we've changed it. You don't have this, but if you want to look at it, you can. So that it'll be in our office, it'll be more field trips. It'll only be 14 students so that they can ride on our bus and we can take them different places. And it'll be like weeks. They won't sign up for the whole month. They'll just do individual weeks. We'll have a science camp, an art camp, and a nature and ag camp. So that's really the only difference. And then we wouldn't have to have 19 camp counselors and a camp director. We only have to have 5 camp counselors. So.
And that is good.
Yes, and so that was one of the reasons is the less students have been signing up because of other things. Because this camp costs, I mean, it was either $210 or $250 depending on when they registered. But then also Kiki, Kashawn Barron, she has been working for me since 2021, and the plan, whenever I originally met with Jason about me coming here full-time, is the next step would be to get that position to be an agent position. Because we have so much going on in Upson County, it warrants for it. Plus, she's got the educational background for it. So that has been proposed as well. Do they have all of that stuff?
Not all that detail. I think. We could use it though. I won't put it all together with Miss Jessica. She can put out there on
Yes. I gave that to Lacey when we sat down with it.
Oh,
So,
well,
but
you have
so you
this.
should have that, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if that's the breakdown of anything, if y'all care or not. For Kiki's position, so the way it works with UGA is she'd have to reapply. If y'all approve it, UGA has already approved for it to move up. Yeah, that's fine.
You want to sit back?
That's fine.
Because I wrote on the other one.
Once y'all approve it, then it has to be open for 30 days. Anybody that applies within those 30 days, we have to interview, as well as Kiki. She'll have to reapply and redo background checks and stuff. But, that is up to y'all if you want to allow for that position. If you don't, then just know that we will be hiring, because she will not be staying in her position.
But what I don't see here, I guess it's on that sheet, is what the difference is, right?
Yeah. Well,
We don't need to say it out loud, I mean,
it doesn't really show the difference in what we did before, but.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have it.
That just shows the what's covering.
Speak to me about the insurance there, Al.
I can give you this if you want this, Dan.
Oh, about the big amount. Actually, that's because of election, House
That's
of people
what she's currently making.
changed
She's
their
up top.
plan and premium elections on July the 1st.
No, property and casualty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you net it with the
Yeah.
2 lines down with the 15,220 increase, decrease, so we have an overall increase of about, what?
1,700 or 1,800, I think it ends up being, yeah. The reason there's a big negative and a big positive is because we aggregated it into one account. The way that we're billed from the broker, it's all there, so it was really difficult to try to break it down. We already have like 19 line items when we get the invoice anyway for the AP clerk. So this is the way we had to do that to make more sense.
So it actually went up how much?
Well,
Not to 2,175%.
this takes over
Like 2,000.
2 line items, so.
You just net the negative 13,9 and positive 15,220.
Well, there was another line item. that
Some
goes
other,
into that.
yeah,
It went up about 1,200 for them.
And that's kind of across the board with the rest of the county.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every department made some account structure changes, but overall, yes, insurance did go up across the county.
I think it was 24,000 and it dispersed.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute, we ain't talking health insurance here.
No, but we're talking about auto and property and crime, all of that. We got it all together. So that line item is really for general property and auto.
right.
Yeah, it's for all of that.
And then-
Oh.
But in total, it was, I think it was less than like 2% because of how much the policy is
Total
altogether.
county. Yeah. John?
I don't have any questions.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's easy. I'm not trying to play favorites. We have just, this is just from Alan, we have some exceptional department heads. Do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know you guys don't see it every day, but I'm off Facebook now, so I don't see everything, but Lacey's always killing it. Not Lacey. Lacey kills it every day too.
Lazy Haley, sounds like.
But Haley is, it's impressive what she does and the awards she wins.
And I had Haley send me some numbers as well for the stuff I'm gathering. 30,463 face-to-face with youth, like what I call touches. Or, yeah, absolutely. And 13,868 with adults. I mean, we're looking at 45,000 people that we've at some point in time interacted in a year, so far this year, with her office.
Well, in the program totals on the last page, you'll see that last year's total and this year's as of October 20th total are the exact same, and they just ended up that way. It wasn't like a copy and paste, I promise. But so anything that we've done since the 20th, so the 21st, we had Quiz Bowl. I led that. We've had Cotton Bowl Consumer Judging. We had High School Club. Today we have Cotton Bowl Consumer Judging. Yesterday I had Quiz Bowl. So those are all just additionals programmatically with youth that we've done.
It's a big program.
And those, like with each of our names that you're looking at, I didn't break down the adult programs, that's just the youth stuff. Now the adult programs are built into those totals on the last page.
Okay.
Thank you, Haley.
Yeah, thank you
Appreciate it. Good stuff.
So you're done with me?
I think so.
very much. You're dismissed.
I think that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It doesn't mean we're done. That's all.
That's right.
Doesn't mean you're done.
Means we got all our answer, our questions answered.
See you later.
We still got talking to do.
That's fine. Talk about me behind my back, right?
Thanks.
If y'all need anything else, just let me know, or any additional numbers. If you want me to pull those adult ones, I can. But
Thank you.
yes, for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Or not, that's a,
Done?
I'm sorry.
Having name issues today.
I have name issues all the time, huh? I call my dog passed, but I call my dog Gracie Lacey all the
They
time.
call me Gracie, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know if that's a compliment or
I know.
It's a problem. I work hard on it, but.
It's that old Miss education.
It is. My wife says the same thing. Thank you, Mr. Watson. Feeling better this year since you guys won, huh?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Planning and zoning. What do we need to know?
The salaries was a little higher because, there's a note that Doug's raise was a little higher, late, because for Jason Kinderly, I think. And then we hired the current person at a little higher of a rate than we had Tyler on with. Okay, so that's why it's a little high, plus it has all the stuff that we budgeted for this year.
The one large item that we have lots of notation on, a couple of items actually, but had to do with education and training. Doug's requesting 18,000, last year's budget was 5.
So I met with Doug on this and talked about it because the travel's kind of one of my things that I look at all the time, but he's actually got some board members that want to be very active and want to go as well. So that was, what, we would say 7,000 or 8,000 of it if they go to what they want to go to. Now, we could try to limit the board from doing some of that. I don't know where we stand on that, but this wasn't all for Doug. And we do have a position open for like a deputy, what would they be called? What's the?
County planner.
Yeah, that's right. So if we get that position, we know we're going to have some training there. So I felt a little better after talking to him. It looks a little lower. Wasn't it 20? Was it 20 and we dropped it a little bit?
Down.
I think it went down a little bit, yeah.
But
But one thing is, like I said, the board members, and I don't know where we send them or how we do that, if we do that on all boards or kind of what's been the history of that since.
And he does have some employees that require CPE, so they
That's right.
have to attend.
Yeah, so we have some of that.
That also, we didn't have it notated, but incorporated within the salaries figure is the
County?
position?
The vacancy half for the vacant
The
position.
Planner?
plan,
Yes.
thank you.
So that is included in the salaries?
It is, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, okay. How about the zoning, supply zoning maps? This is going to 12,000. We're going up 26,000 overall, 12,000 of it's just one
Yeah, so,
line item.
well.
Between the
take
training
words
and-
out of your mouth, but.
Sure. This is a project that was started with the previous county managers to, number one, get the zoning maps digitized. Most of that work has now been done. We've not done the QA/QC on it, though, to see what we got out of the product. Then basically, there's money in there that if the current county manager wants to continue that relationship and expand that at a GIS level for additional layers, this is sort of a holding for what Jason had started. And if Lonnie wants to continue it, or he just wants to maintain it, that number can come down if all we do is maintain the minimum map that Jason had wanted done for the zoning.
Okay, is this accessible by public?
Not at this time.
Not at this time, but it could be, right?
As soon as we do the quality assurance, quality control. Back in the day when I was hired 13 years ago, we had the zoning on the tax assessor's website. And about the 5th time that I called up the tax assessor, said, I'm looking at this parcel, you got the wrong information. Jim, who was the chief appraiser at the time, said, you know what, Doug, I'm just gonna take it off. If it's that inaccurate, and you keep calling me with corrections, because of course we have the official map in our office.
Yeah.
And it's just been a matter of time to, we certainly have always wanted to get it digitized to make it easier for the
So,
public.
so it'll have zoning on it, it'll have infrastructure?
Yeah, so this is one of my kind of medium to longer range, and I say it's maybe a 6-month project, but I have called and reached out to our engineer. When he's in town, he's supposed to come and meet with me. So the city has done an amazing job over the last 5 or 6 years on GIS. So all the water and sewer, I'm talking every pipe, every joint, every junction, everything, you know, if it's 8, 10, whatever you have to do on all of that. All the zoning is on there. We've not done a great job on electricity. That's the next part of getting that on there. You know, you have overlaid based on council member district. There's just a lot of different stuff you could put on there.
Right.
But they've been very good about putting $20,000, $30,000 a year. I think what we need to do is let me get with Chris, let me figure out what we got. It's my understanding the water and sewer uses a different GIS. It's on there, but it's not.
The water department has Diamond Maps, which is a different software, a different company.
But it's the same kind of information. I'm trying to understand, I don't want to change Ben up, but it's all needs to be on one. So I got to figure out whether we're going to go with Diamond Maps or if I need to get Ben's data into something else. And then I'm going to talk to him. Typically what we've done is they have GIS specialists on staff, and then you kind of just get an ongoing maintenance. You start talking about what this is going to be. I think it's data we want. I think it's data we want to provide to the public. I think it's data we want for our operators. But I think it's a pretty big project, and I'm not even sure that, I mean, this is kind of a placeholder. But I really need to come back to you guys with a full report on, hey, here's where I see GIS in the next 5 years.
But it's data, it's usable data.
That's right.
It's where the public wants to know what roads were paved in 2025.
Yeah, you
It'll
can put anything
overlay,
you want
it'll
to
show
in there.
everything. And
But somebody, you gotta have somebody that, typically these engineering firms have somebody on staff that would upload that information. For that water stuff, we had a little guy on a moped for the city that drove around, like marking the stuff. But I actually bought a big, the GIS kind of satellite system for the truck, for the electric department. They're gonna do their own. So they're gonna go to a pole, map it, put the coordinates in, and then put what's on that pole as far as the transformer and what the lines are, and then go from there. So they're gonna do all that. It's absolutely usable data. Some cities and counties really monitor from it. Some put crime in there. You can put where your tickets are written, and you can literally go back and see hot spots in the county. I mean, there's a lot, you can take it to whatever level you want, or as little as you want. So I do think this is fine. You can take it out or whatever, but I do think it's probably bigger than planning and zoning. I think planning and zoning is a part of it, but I think we need to get something going forward. Yeah, because when we're all not here 10, 15 years from now, that stuff needs to be, you know, that's kind of the living document to go on from there.
well, when you have real data, it makes it easier to make decisions.
Absolutely.
So,
So I think that's a good thing. But now, if I come in and it's $500,000 to get all that, then we, you know, you see what I'm saying? So I got to get with the engineer to go, hey, this is what we want. Maybe this is the first part. But I think Jason was right in going forward with it. I think it's something that we need. I just think I've got to get a better handle. And I told Chris, I was slamming budget. I said, look, don't make a special trip, but when you're in town next time, I want to talk to you about this GIS system so I can get it to my commissioners. So that's what that is.
okay. All right.
I mean, like I said, if it's something that we were trying to balance and you wanted to pull that out, Chairman, we could do that, and then I could bring that as a separate project to you, and we could figure something from there if we had to.
I'm all for GIS.
Yeah, I knew you were. That's right, yeah.
I think it'll make us more efficient in the long run.
Yeah.
I think so, for sure.
And then on the training, the planning commissioners are just going to go up to Athens. Is that the only thing? Is it
Yeah,
like,
the Vincent Institute classes are $250. I think all of our commissioners have all taken the 101 courses.
right?
But, and
It's like
to their credit, this Board of Planning Commissioners is very enthusiastic about taking the Vincent classes. Right now, Vincent has 5 different courses you can take as a planning commissioner, and our commissioners have taken 101. So in theory, 5 times 6, there's 30 more classes they could take. Now, you're not going to take all those in a year, but they are very enthusiastic about in January taking 3 of them about taking the 102 class. And so that's $750 in January right there for our planning commission.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. To your point, I would think we should be open to continuing education, but a class a year, 2 classes, whatever.
Well, that's kind of where I was on that board, going, look, let's don't all try to take 6 at one time. Let's go to and go, look, we need to, we're all for you doing this. Let's try to pick up 2 classes a year, and then we kind of go from there, whatever. And kind of what I talked to Doug about on this line item was really just working with him on, you know, I need to understand what he goes to next year and all the stuff that we do and what the planner needs, and we just kind of work through so I can keep y'all informed. But
Right, we get.
There is gonna be more out of this office than other offices, for
Two
sure.
code officers, I mean, there's not, you don't go to high school or college to be a code enforcement officer. One place you go in Georgia, that's GACE, to become a better, and you can get levels and if the TED program, so there's those two officers. Now, we're lucky to have one code officer who's got 16 years of experience, which is probably more experience than you took all the code officers in the last 4 or 5 years combined didn't have that much experience. So we're blessed to have him, and we do send them to GACE for their continuing education. There's no place outside of the Georgia Association of Business Tax Officials to learn about taking in business tax and what's right, and what's wrong, and what the law is. So we certainly are advocates. Myself and Guadalupe go to those classes twice a year. And actually, I would say the one we took earlier this month was one of the best sessions they've ever had for education purposes. And there are other things also.
And I want to say here, there is no national travel or anything in this budget. So these classes would all be around Georgia or the Southeast. I mean, they could be something over into Florida or something, but it's not like we're not paying for, taxpayers aren't paying for plane tickets.
We're not going to Vegas?
We're not going to Vegas. Doug and I wanted to. There was something we wanted to go, but no, we're not doing any of that.
Well, at the point that the ICC, which is where we would send Thomas if he went next year, is in Nashville.
Okay.
The American Planning Association for me would be in Detroit next year. And this year, the ACE, which is the American Association of Code Enforcement, this year in St. Louis, I couldn't figure out where they are next year. We did not request any money to go to any of those conferences, even though they are the professional national conferences that we would go to if we went to them.
Okay. All right, so just want to clarify, the county, what do you call it, what the position called?
Planner.
County planner is budgeted in this salary at half?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the salary we budgeted for.
Yeah.
Is it up on, should we get, I didn't see it.
Yes, she's re-advertised.
So it's re-advertised out there. We are looking, we hope we find somebody. We've got an intern that worked, that if they graduate and want to come back, would probably be a good fit. Doug and I have also talked about, if we found the right person that we feel would fit the team, that may not have a master's in planning, but that we could guide and teach and coach up to that level, that, maybe we're going more that route than the other as well. But we're just going to see who applies.
Yeah, I think so.
And that includes benefits.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of that money?
Oh, I think benefits would be in there, right, or half of it?
Half of what we get.
Yeah, I think the position's advertised at
Yeah.
like $23 an hour, and I'm just like, it's gonna be tough, maybe tough to find a master planner, somebody coming out at $23 an hour. We're just gonna have to see what we get and then kind of go from there, so.
Yes, I think that was discussed earlier, but when we hired our code enforcement officer with 16 years of experience, the salary had to go up to get him and to keep him.
Yeah.
So you're cutting,
Demolition?
cutting what?
Oh, I just saw.
Yeah, we cut demolition.
Demolition.
We haven't done anything, we haven't demolished anything with it.
Well, actually, our past code officer, Tyler, was very successful, and he got the
Right.
owners to demolish 17 homes.
Right.
So he was extremely successful. Now, again, we've got a lot of turnover in our code officers. Right now, our senior officer's been with us for a year and a half. Okay, that's not enough to really get momentum with the demolition program to get to the point where we're getting owners who don't either want to or don't have the power to or the resources to do it. But the county has chosen, yes, we're gonna, through the program that we have to go through the courts. I mean, we can't just knock them down. The court's you have to have a judicial order that, yes, after the case, you can knock them down. We haven't gotten to that point because, number one, we've had success with the owners knocking them down. Number two, we haven't had a code officer long enough to take a case through the court to get to the point where the county is knocking them down and then
They've been here long enough, they just ain't took nothing.
leaning the property.
They've been here plenty long enough, they just ain't took nothing.
Well, a year and a half.
Yeah. If somebody's violating the law, it don't take a year and a half to make them get to court. Write them a ticket, they go to court.
Well, I believe she's got some that we may need to tap the fund. And I do have experience in a previous job with demolitions. And one house could take up 30 or 40 if there's enough asbestos and lead paint. Or you could knock down 5 or 6 manufactured homes for 2,000 or 3,000 apiece. It just depends. So we actually at one point had that fund up to 50,000. We've cut it in the past. But yes, we've not been able to take advantage. Well, probably, again, I look at it positive. If we can get the owners to knock them down, we don't want to have to use county funds.
Yeah, that's the best thing, but
Right.
we gotta take them to court and make them do it.
Not always, no. Well, Tyler did persuasion.
Interesting.
Now, 5 of those 17 were across from the new judicial center. So they had a financial interest in knocking those down.
Anything else for him?
I'm good.
Appreciate it, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Any final thoughts?
That it?
That's it
I
for
think
Doug?
that's it, my friend.
Just, are there any overall questions in terms of the budget, aside from the sheriff? I mean, like pay increases, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know there's,
I got stuff.
Yeah, but you, not right now.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later. I got some questions, some things I want to go over, sure.
Well, that was one thing I wanted to ask. So in the past, like, did we put all these things that people have brought to you today in a list and you strike through them? Do you just, we discuss it? How do we normally do it? That was one of the things I was wondering.
well, we would go back and make any adjustments to the budget.
When do we gotta vote on the budget? Next month?
December, is it 8th? First.
So
Yeah, we're gonna vote the first.
The first.
But we have to
Yeah.
have we're gonna have a public hearing before then.
Right, but to vote on it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I got a number of issues written down, just dealing with the court system. We have Judge Ballard going to be here tonight. And then we got the security issue for this building. And the contract assessor. And then we got the ag agent position. I just want to see that stuff, what that does, right? And I think we need to, at the work session, come back and say, hey, this is what would happen with this and that.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Almost like have that down and a plus or negative, right?
Yeah.
And you could say this changes, here was the deficit, right? If the total deficit was 200 or wherever we were at today. And then if you add these things to it, this is where you are or whatever, and then you can kind of make a decision.
So
We got to talk
there's no
about,
deficit.
Okay.
So let's.
Well, there was the other day when we met with them the first time.
So there's no planned increase in the millage for the general fund. There is some increase in joint projects and some in unincorporated goes from like 0.8 something to 1. But the joint projects is going up a little bit. Part of that is just adding that new department within the joint projects fund for facilities. But we're still using the same millage rate for the general.
you're talking about
fund.
millage rates next year.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'd have the same millage rate.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the budget this year, right? So right, when you came to us at the work session, we were 200,000.
I think it was 200 was the number we said, maybe an
200,000
overall deficit amongst
delta.
everything.
I mean-
James said, oh, well, that's not a big deal, we can figure
Yeah,
that
it's not
out.
a big
And then
deal,
we were
but-
kind of, so if we made changes that were brought to us today, where would that number be, I think is what you're asking.
Yeah.
I wanna know why
Well, that-
Alan's quitting, right?
Well, that
Y'all
was
misunderstood
then.
me.
What we've done and, adjustments in the budget with department heads since that time, that's an early.
Okay, so we're balanced
That
today.
was an overview. and-
So if we're balanced today, we're starting with 0, but these
Right.
things like the
Right.
part-time person for juvenile justice,
Yeah, what is it?
the security for here, what would that change these numbers and what are they looking at? That's what they gotta have to make that
At the
decision.
next work session, I would like to,
Yeah, I think that's where we are.
Yeah, which is coming next week.
Oh,
Did we just lose something?
That's coming next week.
Next
We
week?
cut a lot from initially, from that first draft that we had, we cut a lot. I was able to, talk, you really, yeah, so we were able to.
we got some more cuts and then fine tune some other things that we had. So that what I did is just an overview to give you a starting point. so it's a process.
Yeah,
It takes time.
Sure.
and things change.
Do you think, based on what we kind of talked about today, and I can get a list from Dan as well to have what he had, that we can put that together before the work session next week? Put a dollar amount to these things and say,
Well, I don't know what we're talking about these things.
well, juvenile justice, she wants a part-time person. What's that gonna cost us?
Isn't that in the budget or not?
That was the only one that's not in there.
Okay.
Everything else is in there except for Andy's security.
The security's not in there, so we need to know where
But
that
the
one
tax assessor stuff, it's already in there.
is. Okay.
So it would be takeaways if you want to take it.
Yeah, so he could spell that out, and then you could know what you could save if you pulled some of that out.
I need a plus minus.
That's right,
Yeah.
plus or minus down. So, so making Kishan, is that her name?
Yeah, because Sean Barron,
Kishan a full-time agent, it's in there?
yeah, it's in there too.
Okay, but they would want to see that, I think, broken out, but exactly what that's gonna cost us.
Yeah, I didn't know what,
They just see a
I'm not
total
saying,
salary
I'm
amount,
not
so they
saying
don't
that's a
know
bad idea, probably a good idea, I would like to know what it does.
what that changes the final game on all the little things.
Well, if we look at it, all together.
Yeah, I'll help you, I'll look
We
at it,
can
because I
push it
think I
forward.
got.
Yeah, the major things that we see, what are those doing to us, and then,
Because.
and then I think we need to have the conversation about the road department and the salary, the hourly wage there.
Yep, as long as we can get it to a $200,000 deficit, I'm good.
Yeah, no, we don't have a 200.
No, we don't have that, no.
We don't have
That's
a
been
200.
changed. Yeah.
We're balancing the budget with 9.46 mils or whatever it is for this 2025
And my website's gonna be up and running?
website.
Just the overall website?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
No, we gotta work
Yeah, it's running now.
Now, back into that, we need to talk about that at work session, because it, even if we hired a person, we gotta spend some money to fix that, whatever we got, it don't work.
On the website?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
one thing that we've got to understand is, I've got to understand as the manager, what the,
Our website's terrible.
Okay, but the finance looks good.
Oh, yeah,
We've
yeah.
got that cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what.
that's fine,
So
y'all just
I
want
just
to,
need, if
Everything's out
I
there.
can have some guidance on what's terrible.
yeah, what you don't like about it is what we got to
You
have.
can't back up or anything.
You can't back
have
up.
to go out of it and come back into it to look at something different.
It's about the navigation, it's about the
Yeah.
mechanics of it, and then the departments, they're not uniform, like, and I don't know, I'm not saying what it needs to be, but if it's like, here's the mission of that department, here's the director, here's the people, and then same thing with the committees, and,
I did have her start working on putting your
just consistency.
committee applications online.
Did you look something up? There's no back button. You can't go back. You have to go out and back in to
But,
look at something else.
but there is help, the website team
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
there to help us.
That's why we don't think it's gonna cost us much of money. We just need somebody to sit down with us and go, hey, see this right here, I
It's
don't like
time,
this.
it's time, we need time.
It is.
And then we'll get it fixed. We just need to know that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, are we
We'll
good
put Alan
right
in charge
now?
of it, since he's done a good job of
Right.
finding. Yeah, come on, you spoke up, Alan.
No, I'm on. I was trying to figure out what the
I think we're good.
website, you're talking about the budget, getting the budget on?
No, he's just talking about website in general, nothing to do with you.
Oh, you're going back to the.
He's thinking about finance, that's.
No.
I think we got a way forward of how to get there.
Right.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
can I get a motion to adjourn?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So moved.
Say what? Say what?
Motion to adjourn.
Second to adjourn.
So,
Are we still?
All in favor?
yo,
Hold on.
You don't get to hold on.
I thought he was about to say, he didn't know the camera was still rolling, I apologize.
See you on the camera.
I thought you were about to say something.
This is kind of an informal.
It's an informal meeting, we're just.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's being broadcast nationwide.